$2,500 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/30. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Price, delivery time, and vehicle availability may vary based on order size and location. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com/delivery for more details.
Do you have real estate problems? Whether you're facing foreclosure, inherited a property, or have costly repairs, we understand. At Rapid Fire Homebuyers, we're here to help. Any condition, any situation, we'll give you an honest cash offer for your home so you can move forward. Because when real estate problems cause you uncertainty, you deserve a solution you can trust. Any condition, any situation, we're here to help. Give Rapid Fire Homebuyers a call today at 334-675-1000. That's 334-675-1000.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program here. Lovely Monday. Actually, it's hot. It's lovely inside. It's lovely with the innovation of air conditioning running rampant. Let's get to today. I call it Epstein diversions. Apparently, Trump's going to now arrest Barack Obama or something like that. Like they're going after all the Russiagate conspirators. Okay. I'm sure that'll work out, and it's not just, again, a diversion from other things. Also seeing Kim Jong-un is desperate for Ozempic. He probably needs it. Alan Dershowitz is claiming to give the Rosetta Stone to the whole Epstein case. And, of course, well, it looks like Democrats are highly motivated for the midterms. A latest poll from Atlas Intel shows Democrats lead by 9 points in newest generic congressional poll. So it's going to be a long run to the midterms. But to kick off the show today, we are going to go to State Representative Philip Insler. He's my representative and joining us now. Phil, how you doing today, sir?
Good, thanks. Yeah, happy Monday. And the Epstein story is not going anywhere. So, but I know we have plenty of other things to talk about today.
Well, I want to first start with you. I saw in the news that you're not seeking re-election again for the State House.
That is correct. And I shared this in my statement and have shared it on social media and throughout the last week or so that it's been a very tough decision, but I decided not to run next year. As many people know, but for those who don't, I'm originally from New York. I ended up in Montgomery through the program Teach for America over 10 years ago. Montgomery became home, and I've absolutely loved it and have loved serving, and Montgomery really has become a home. But my father passed away a little over 2 years ago up in New York, and a lot of my aunts and uncles and cousins are all up here, and just feel strongly about being back closer to a lot of them.
Well, I can certainly understand that. And, I had a good friend of mine, I won't say his last name, Eric. He's really sad that it's not just, you're not running for office again, that you are moving away from the Montgomery area. He follows you very faithfully in your capacity heading up the Jewish Federation here in the area. And so I've heard it from a lot of folks, you're going to be missed. And I mean, as you look ahead and you'll be serving the rest of your term, correct?
Of course, yeah. Finishing out strong. We have a lot of work to do this throughout the year and certainly in the upcoming legislative session that'll be in the spring.
So as you are kind of thinking ahead, no time to burn bridges, but I mean, what is it like when you think back on your journey coming here to Alabama through Teach for America and now leaving and kind of if you're looking at the state in the rearview window, I mean, what do you think of your time here?
Oh, it has been nothing but amazing and such a blessing. And that's going to be the hardest part about moving is just all the relationships that I've formed, both, as you mentioned, in the Jewish community, which I'm Jewish, but certainly in the larger Montgomery community. So many people at the State House, everyone from my legislative colleagues to lobbyists. I know some people listening may know I'm very involved with Montgomery Public Schools and do a lot mentoring students. So I'm certainly going to miss some of those more regular interactions visiting our schools. I will say that I am going to continue the mentorship program that I do, where I bring students from Montgomery. We do a group to DC to expose them to government and history and politics. And then we do a group to New York that's a little more kind of business, finance focused. I've been leading those every year and certainly will continue that. So even though I'm moving, I'm not completely leaving behind my commitments and the work I'm doing in Montgomery.
Well, and again, folks, we're talking to State Representative Philip Insler. I continue to bring up with a lot of the local folks, especially in city government and in county government, that education continues to be, and I know, as you just said, you've worked on this in detail. If kind of you had a magic wand, I know that's not how things get done, but just to get a general concept, how could we continue to improve education here in the city and the county?
Sure, and it's always the big question of what can be done to make things even better. And I think in this day and age, of course, there are certain basics that every child needs to learn. There are certain things that you and I learned growing up. There are things that our parents' generation and the generation before that, learned as far as basic, reading and writing skills and math. But I think we need to focus on teaching more life skills, teaching things that are really going to equip and empower young people for today's day and age. I know you've talked about this on your show, but certainly things like cryptocurrency and understanding, the financial markets and understanding AI. I think we need to think about, well, what is really the best use and really going to benefit our children the most, but then be willing to rethink and redo some of what we do as far as what we teach our young people, especially from a young age. It was interesting. I've had conversations with people who have said, hey, there are basic life skills, and I know they used to maybe call it home ec, but things that we could bring back into our schools, in addition to, I think, trade and teaching some of those technical skills, which we're doing more of, but even a little bit more of what will help make someone a well-rounded person.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. And it really is fascinating how they don't teach young folks, at least in most spots, like at the school level, how to build a credit score, like how to properly manage your finances in particular ways. And they kind of assume folks will just learn that on their own. Oh, get a NerdWallet app and it'll teach you it or something, young man. So I think getting on top of the latest in the financial world, especially with the movement we're seeing with cryptocurrency, is a great idea. On that, you know how much I continue to hope the state of Alabama will move quickly on this. I was a little disappointed they didn't move on, say, a Bitcoin reserve, or at least empowering the treasurer to allocate some of this assets he manages to Bitcoin. But I mean, on the horizon, I know there's a big report coming out, I think due on the third day of the session, about blockchain and cryptocurrency. Are you hopeful that some legislation will get done on this issue upcoming in 26?
Yeah, and I know that any sort of new technology, government is a little bit slow to come around to either embracing it or trying to understand it. I do think it's wise to study it and take some time to just rush any sort of regulatory framework. I know one of my colleagues, Representative Mike Shaw, has really been leading the effort on it, and my understanding is he'll bring some legislation back. Certainly defer to him on sharing details, but I'm hopeful that we do something in this upcoming session.
Is there anything else in particular you're hoping to work on in the session?
I did. So this past year, we got funding in the budget for a mental health program that's going to now start this upcoming school year. And what it does is it allows for telehealth, where students who maybe don't have a ride to go to a counseling appointment, or maybe they're in a more rural part of the state, and maybe there's not a counselor as accessible or nearby. This will be a telehealth mental health program, and I'd love to see the way it was budgeted is it'll I think be available in a few school districts to start, or maybe just for some students throughout the state. So certainly want to see that not only continue, but hopefully expand. I also had a bill last year that we got through the committee and the on the House side that deals with the abuse and treatment of dogs that are tied up outside. I've just gotten story after story of horrific treatment, dogs that are just treated in the most cruel and inhumane ways. Certainly, look, we have to focus on education and public safety and mental health and healthcare. Those are all big issues, but certainly want to focus on the treatment of dogs as well. I would add in on the healthcare front. We passed last year when it dealt with hospitals, some efforts to help with funding of rural hospitals, but I think that's not going away, and we need to continue to think about all the different ways that we can help keep hospitals open.
Do you think Alabama Public Television is going to get more money from the state after this rescission package passed at the federal level?
Good question. I would certainly support that, but we'll have to see. I'm lower on the totem pole when it comes to the budget decisions, but I would support it, and we'll see what the budget chairs and leadership think.
Well, and I'll just say, and this is why I am going to miss you, and I know a lot of others, but you got a whole other year left. I'm certain we have disagreements on all sorts of stuff, but I've found the way you operate over there as a state representative for your district is very practical. Like, what can we get done? What can we actually agree on and push through? And also I appreciate it. Maybe it's youth, maybe it's the generation being a little more creative on solutions. So on that's why I'll miss you. I think you cooperate and you actually do the work of legislating quite well. There's not a lot of grandstanding, which I appreciate.
Sure. No, I appreciate you saying that. And I think that's what most people want. I mean, when I talk to constituents in the district, and it doesn't matter what their political views or race, gender, age, what neighborhood they're in, people just want to know that their representatives and those in government are trying their best. They understand that we can't do everything and we're not there to solve every problem. And I've appreciated and enjoyed, working with colleagues from all over the state. And it's the hardest part about leaving the role or not running again is I'm going to miss doing that work. But again, I know people understand that being close to family, there's nothing more important than that.
Now, can we kick around a few of these national things? I mean, I wrote about it. It'll come out tomorrow at 1819 News. How it seems like the Jeffrey Epstein issue has a lot of people always walking away with changed minds and more questions than answers when they encounter this thing. I tend to be in the camp that Epstein's a bit of a construct. He's not just some disgraced financier. There's something else odder or weirder going on there. But this just happened with Trump. I find it incredibly strange that Trump and somebody running into his administration are all about releasing this stuff. And even with the phase 1 binders, which was a joke, but all of a sudden it's like, this is a huge political liability. Or at least that's the way Trump's acting. I still sit here and I go, I don't know what they saw behind the scenes or what's in there, but it's a strange about face.
It is, and I certainly understand the argument of protecting any sort of information that would reveal the identities of victims, and I absolutely understand redacting information as far as protecting victims and those who don't want their identity revealed. But I mean, this is a no-brainer to me to reveal, share the information, whatever information there is on who any of the perpetrators were and anyone else that was involved. And it's with irrespective of who they are, it doesn't matter if they're some of the most powerful people, if they're Democrats, Republicans. I mean, whatever they are, the public certainly wants to know. And this case has gained a lot of interest across political lines, and it's baffling why they won't just release it.
Yeah, it is baffling, and I still. What do you think is going on with Epstein? Do you buy the idea that he's just, obviously a pervert, a creep, a disgraced financier? It seems like, though, the deal he got in the early 2000s was such a sweetheart deal, didn't inform the victims in the case. There's so much oddness to this. It makes me have to speculate on what this guy was.
Sure. No, I mean, everything we've heard already, he sounds like a monster. And if there's even more gruesome and horrific things that may be out there. But at this point, just the transparency and shining the light on it. I will say that it's incredibly important that the information be revealed. I also know we need to balance that with paying attention, though, to the day-to-day issues impacting people, like we talked about healthcare, public safety, education. It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. We don't have to pick one or the other. But I do, just remind myself and others of, certainly let's call for transparency, but let's not only focus on the Epstein issue and not the other day-to-day issues impacting people's lives.
Now, one issue I think we've talked about in passing, that ran out of time last time I had you in studio. If you got the time, I've noticed an immense, and I'm sure you have too, uptick, especially in places like X, where it's straight up anti-Semitism. And I'm not talking about, comedians on Kill Tony or the Flagrant podcast making jokes, like Jewish jokes. I mean, straight up, I don't necessarily even have to describe it. And it seems to have grown and grown. The crazy Kanye West song that came out over the few months ago. I'm shaking my head and wondering, what is this? It's one thing to say, I don't like political correctness. I don't like the woke, but to then go down this road of explaining the problems of society in this way, I guess my question is, obviously, are you seeing that yourself? But do you really see it too much, say, in the real world, in person, or is this more like just the churning of Furno of online?
Yeah, let me begin by saying I appreciate how you, in the time I've known you, you've always been outspoken and concerned with anti-Semitism, not just as a political issue or a topic for conversation, but I know something that you have genuinely really been concerned about, and on a personal level, that means a lot. It is horrifying, and today it is often okay for people to be anti-Semitic or say anti-Semitic things, and it too often gets ignored or shrugged off as not being a big deal. The reason it's so concerning is when it leads. It's especially concerning because of the violence it has led to. When you see increase in anti-Semitic attacks on synagogues, on Jewish people, and when it becomes a matter of people's public safety and their physical safety and life or death, that's why the rhetoric is so concerning. Fortunately, I have not experienced a lot in my time, especially in office. There have been a few incidents, a few anecdotal situations, but for the most part in Alabama and certainly in the district, have not. But the overall rhetoric and the level of anti-Semitism is concerning, throughout the country and throughout the world.
Yeah, and I have noticed. I wonder how much a long, protracted war makes things worse. And to be clear, after October 7th, there were people in major cities all over the world that were almost celebrating that awful attack. So the anti-Semitism was there. They were cheering on what Hamas did. But I'm thinking about the folks who thought October 7th was awful, and obviously I'm putting it mildly, who really understood, okay, Israel has to respond to this. But we're now 2 years later almost, if not longer. And it just, I'm worried about the folks that said the Netanyahu government, the entire coalition government, the war cabinet, there's got to be some resolution to this, because it seems like it is affecting even American politics at this point, including your hometown, New York City. I'd imagine it's playing some in some of the elections up there.
Yes, and to your question about does a protracted war, I think what's happening is that people who are critical of the ongoing war efforts by the Israeli government, unfortunately, are not making the distinction that those are the decisions of the Israeli government, and they're then projecting that on the entire Jewish population or Jewish people everywhere. Let me be clear. I mean, I completely support Israel's right to exist and defend itself. And October 7th was, like I said, I mean, to put it even mildly, I mean, horrible, but just one of the most gruesome terrorist attacks that we've seen. But yes, I think, to the point you made that there's a lot of people are just conflating in general the decisions of the government in Israel with Jewish people as a whole. And yeah, up in New York City, I mean, I know it's gotten national headlines of Mamdani, who won the mayoral election up there, and his unwillingness to condemn the phrase "globalize the Intifada" is very troubling, because to most Jews, including myself, that phrase means violence against innocent Jews. It means attacking Jewish people just because of who they are. And anyone running for, I think, office, especially in a city as big as New York, that has as many Jews as it does, should not hesitate to condemn that kind of phrase.
Yeah, and it's just a bizarre thing to watch. I don't know why. And I think somewhat it is just the new technology. Some of it, I wonder how much is it just bots and sort of astroturfing online. But I think with a lot of these issues, it's just short clips, or at this point you look at video and it might very well be an artificial intelligence creation. It's become a very confusing time. I'll put it, it's almost like we're deranging ourselves with too much information.
We are, and anti-Semitism, I mean, it's coming from both people on the far right and the far left. Certainly, with as great as AI and technological advances have been in so many ways, it also, like I said, is generating some pretty concerning and pretty hateful language, and making sure that is as much as possible weeded out and not condemned. And people like you using your platform to call it out, certainly makes a difference.
Well, and one last thing is we got state elections coming up, and I guess you'll be around to watch, especially the primaries unfold. Does the Alabama Democratic Party, I mean, have you heard much about if they're going to field, say, some proper candidates, especially for governor or in some of these other statewide races? I always think competition is a very healthy thing, even in, say, a Republican-dominated state, and it would be good to see the Democratic Party be somewhat competitive.
Sure, and I can't speak for the party itself, but I know that from everything I know, that they're trying to recruit and doing even more than they had in previous years. And I agree that having that competition and just having that exchange of ideas is important. So I hope to see candidates up and down the ballot, and from what I've seen, the party is trying to do that.
Well, I appreciate you being very generous with your time over the phone here. I would love to have you in studio again, especially as we get closer to the session. And I hate to say goodbye to you, and I know a lot of folks in the community feel that way, but we got a whole other year together, folks. So it should be all right.
Absolutely. And no, for those who maybe are just tuning in later in our conversation here, I just want to reiterate, I mean, it is a privilege to serve the district. I'm looking forward to a really good year, continuing to do that. And yes, happy to come on in person and continue the conversation going. And, like I said, I'm leaving the role, but I'm keeping up my involvement and friendships in Montgomery. Those are lifetime bonds.
Well, I appreciate it, Phil, and talk to you again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Again, folks, it's Philip Insler. He is the Democratic representative of this local state house district. After Charlotte Meadows redrew the district, Philip ended up with that seat in that district. And like I told him, we definitely have a lot of disagreements on a lot of things, especially, I'm sure, if you get into national politics. And, but I've realized the guy is very practical, very pragmatic, and has gotten a lot of things done, worked with a lot of Republicans, and makes a lot of common sense on a lot of important issues. So I just wanted to take his pulse real quick. And it's a shame to see somebody talented leave, but them's the breaks. Got to make those tough decisions sometimes, especially when I think at every level the personal is more important than the political, or the personal tends to bring you back to where you really need to be, following family, and can never fault a man for that. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. Yeah, apparently Alan Dershowitz has the inside scoop on Jeffrey Epstein. Wrote that up at the Wall Street Journal. I'm not sure if I fully trust Alan on this, given I think he's spitting a lot of things that are true. Don't get me wrong. It's just top flight lawyers like Mr. Dershowitz. I always wonder how they thread together all those facts, and especially when we are left in the dark on a lot of what he's actually seen, how he's framing it could be a little more advantageous to his own interest. So I don't know, but we'll get into it. He's been doing a lot of interviews, making the rounds. He wants a lot released, the grand jury evidence and testimony that the Trump team is now promising to release on the Epstein case. And now on top of that, you have Trump putting out a video that has Democrats who for years said, what was the phrase? No one is above the law. No one is above the law. And it ends with an AI video where it's Donald Trump and Barack Obama sitting in the Oval Office. Then all of a sudden, 2 FBI agents come in and put handcuffs on Obama. He's arrested. It's obvious AI, but it's like no one's above the law. No one's above the law. No one's above the law. Obama arrested, put in handcuffs, depicted that way. Trump himself posted this video. He's also now blasting the Washington Commanders, threatens the stadium deal, saying they should go back to the name Redskins. So it seems like Trump really doesn't want to talk about the Epstein thing. I can't blame him. So they're going to continue to go after some other big things. I just, on the whole Obama and Brennan and Clapper and all these folks that were conspirators in the Russiagate thing, what is this story, like 10 years old now? Almost. Would I cry a tear if I saw it happen? No. I just don't believe it at this point. Like, you're going to arrest Barack Obama. Sure you are. Like, say, are you even going to indict these folks? Where are you going to indict them? In Washington, D.C.? Is that where you're going to indict them? What jury could you get to actually have a trial or any hope of conviction? Like, not a guaranteed conviction, but like at least any fair chance at conviction. Or are you just going to get a jury pack full of folks that are loyalists that will never convict a former president? So to me, this seems like a diversion, but I will give it in good faith. We've got Tulsi Gabbard, her breakdown with Maria Bartiromo. We've got Trump and his mini statements about all this stuff. Trump also, by the way, going after Adam Schiff, saying he should be prosecuted for being a thief, something to do with mortgage fraud. While you have Trump say deputies, cabinet officials, like his old best friend Howard Lutnick, predicting the next 2 weeks will be for the record books on the trade deals they're about to announce. You also have Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, saying, hey, maybe we should look top to bottom at the Federal Reserve, the entire institution. I agree, Mr. Bessent, Secretary Bessent, audit the Fed. And then before you know it, after we audit it, I think there are going to be a lot of people going full Ron Paul saying, end the Fed. I quite like that move. I quite like it a lot. And again, Kim Jong-un is desperate for Ozempic. Oh, we'll get to that one. We'll get to that one before too long. This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting, and their River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and his team are ready to help you with that roof of yours. Now, whether you have an asphalt or a metal roof, either should be inspected on a regular basis. And that could be every few years. A lot of manufacturers say every 3 to 5 years. But you know, with the elements we have here, especially with the storms we've had rolling through different seasons here in Alabama, why not get it inspected, that roof of yours inspected annually, every year? Here's the great news at River Region Contracting. That inspection's always free. Absolutely free. And their estimates are always free. Say they do find an issue, they'll write up an estimate for free. Here's how much it's going to cost. They show up on time. They fix it exactly how they say, and they get the job done quickly. And what's great is they're also insurance specialists. So if you're worried at all about having to deal with that insurance company, go through the claims process, they'll walk you through it. Make it a swift and easy experience. So again, check out River Region Contracting. They're not associated with any other roofing contractor here in the area. They're the premier roofing contractor in the River Region. That number, 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Jay Scott for Blue Water Broadcasting, hanging out at Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry in the Pepper Tree Shopping Center here until 12:30. Got a little while to come on by while we're still here for our Paw It Forward donation drive. Now, even though we leave, that doesn't mean that you can't stop by and drop off. Whatever's convenient for you is going to be convenient for the Humane Societies here in Montgomery, Autauga, and Prattville, and also Elmore County as well. We're raising supplies for these humane societies to help out our furry friends. We're looking for dog food and cat food, kitty litter, puppy pads. Cleaning supplies might not be something you really think about when you want to stock a humane society, but yeah, they need cleaning supplies as well. Toys, treats, anything like that. It's going to go a long way for the humane societies of the River Region. Now, you've got all week to do this, and we're going to be out and about all week this week as well, but this is the final week of our Paw It Forward donation drive. If you need more information, just hit up our website and you can find out from there, or our Facebook pages also. I'm Jay Scott out at Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry until 12:30 today in the Pepper Tree Shopping Center for Blue Water Broadcasting. Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Cotton with the Good Feet Store. When you're on your feet all day, foot pain can feel endless and overwhelming. And when your job depends on your feet, it's even more critical to have the right support. Keith's story shows how Good Feet helped him get back on track.
Being a letter carrier and walking 20,000 steps, which equals up to about 10 miles a day, it's tough. I had back problems. That was scary. I've been delivering letters to the Good Feet Store for over 6 years. The people at the Good Feet Store really educated me and finally convinced me to try their arch supports. And lo and behold, I have no more back problems. Where I would be without them, I have no clue.
So if you're a letter carrier like Keith, or anyone who's on their feet for a living, don't wait to find relief. Visit the Good Feet Store for a free fitting and test walk today. The Good Feet Store is in Montgomery, across from the shops at East Chase. Visit goodfeet.com to book your appointment today, or just stop by the store nearest you.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We have a heat advisory in effect for today and again tomorrow. The heat index today, 102 to 107 easily. That's dangerous territory with the actual high around 97 both days and the low tonight down to about 76. Now, there'll be widely scattered to isolated storms around in the afternoon and evening hours, but most towns will get skipped. The rain chances perhaps a little better Wednesday through Friday as we'll be watching the northern Gulf for possible tropical development. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray Publix.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. You know, over the weekend, when I sit down to write my op-ed, it's often, sometimes I do it early, but it's often on a Sunday. And this is why some of my op-eds come across as personal meditations, if not personal prayers in a way. And sometimes bordering even on a sermon. I think that might be what happened this week. Because as I always begin with some framing device, okay, we got a fly in the studio. Oh no, am I the Lord of the Flies? But I always start with a quote, usually a classical one, sometimes something funny, as a framing device. And what was on my mind today and yesterday, John 18:37-38. Then you are a king, Pilate said. You say that I am a king, Jesus answered. For this reason I was born, and I have come into the world to testify to the truth. Everyone who belongs to the truth listens to my voice. What is truth? Pilate asked. And having said this, he went out again to the Jews and told them, I find no basis for a charge against him. Something about Jeffrey Epstein makes people walk away from the truth with more questions than answers. Something other than the truth seems to keep getting in the way. The recent about-face by the Trump administration on the quote-unquote Epstein files has created a dizzying reaction across the political scene, from outrage to disbelief to disappointment to political opportunism, rank hypocrisy, and noxious sensationalism. It is strange. What was once an ardent campaign promise to expose the machinations of a depraved elite has now, somehow, become a dangerous political liability for Trump and team. What changed? Who knows? Does it even matter? What is truth anyway in the context of hard-boiled political necessity? What is truth to a pragmatic political leader when he has a country to run, competing interests to lead or Main Street to appease, a dishonest opposition to oppose, and the next election to win? Whatever the truth, Trump and team are definitely acting spooked by what they have seen behind the scenes regarding Epstein. The necessities they face must be full of Faustian bargains. Their attempts to redirect and reframe the issue for their constituency as yet another Democrat hoax or corporate media witch hunt have come across as a hurried and muddied mess that very few Americans, except the most loyal Trump supporters, and they are many, actually believe. The more Trump tells the populist crowd, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, the more the crowd wonders aloud, what exactly is going on behind that curtain? All as the corporate press and political opposition smell blood in the muddied waters. Yet I wonder, does the crowd really want the truth? Or do they just want Barabbas? Does the press really want the truth, or do they just want to chase clicks with the latest headlines? Do Trump's political enemies really want the truth, or do they want him brought down by any means necessary, punished for punishment's sake? What is truth to an impressionable and distrustful mob? What is truth to a headhunting press? What is truth to political enemies? What is truth to American presidents? What is truth to covert institutions who operate with impunity in the shadows? The truth is too often regarded by almost all as just another means to their ends in a pointless competition over whose whims will pretend to be king for a fading day. Truth conscripted as chattel to be used and abused in order to climb a ladder from which all will eventually lose their footing and fall. Pontius Pilate climbed the ladder in his time. He saw the truth of innocence before him, yet walked away from hearing the answer in order to appease the crowd. Fated by his clever detachment to condemn an innocent man to torture and death. What is the truth of the Epstein scandal? How many people are using Epstein, whatever he might be, to climb the ladder? How many innocents have suffered for the sake of the climb? I don't pretend to know. There is much known. Go watch that, especially that Tucker Carlson, Daryl Cooper sit down. About a 3-hour podcast, a deep dive into that history. So there is much known, yet much more left unknown. But would our political leaders condemn those they knew to be innocent for political expediency? Would they then walk away and wash their hands of responsibility? That I suspect I do know. And I suspect you do too. No doubt, I am walking away with more questions than answers when it comes to the truth of what happened with Epstein. Too many questions and too few answers. Yet for the sake of argument, allow me one more line of inquiry. Even if all the worst allegations of the abuse of children are true, even if all the perpetrators of such evils were named, shamed, and punished with a public death, would that really be justice enough for those children? What man-made system of justice could ever give back the innocence ripped from those children? None. Only the truth of the man who Pilate reluctantly put to death, who suffered the gravest injustice at our hands to wash away the blood from our hands, could ever fully set right such a profound wrong, or ever truly answer Pilate's jest. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
They're more than pets. They're family. And while your furry friend is safe and loved at home, countless animals across the river region are still waiting for that same chance. That's why Blue Water Broadcasting and Lassiter's Hardware are coming together for the annual Paw It Forward Pet Drive to help local humane societies care for homeless animals in need. We're stuffing our Sprinter van full of supplies, and you can help. Drop off food, toys, blankets, and more at Lassiter's Hardware, your local feed, seed, lumber, and hardware store. US 31 in Hope Hull. Paw It Forward today.
To find out how you can help, visit newstalk931.com.
CM truck beds, built to work, built to last. From a simple flatbed to a rugged aluminum truck bed, CM truck beds are built by the best in the industry, and you can see the difference. Rated B&W hitches, plug-and-play modular sealed wiring harnesses, LED lights, 1/8-inch steel tread decks, premium powder coat finishes. CM truck beds has a bed for you. Flatbeds, stump beds, beds with fail bikes. The side boxes and accessories are just as tough and durable. All of the CM truck beds are available for you now at Airport Trailer. Visit Airport Trailer today or call 288-5785. Make your truck and trailer come to life at Airport Trailer.
Since 1966, Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches has been more than just a place to stay. It's been a place to belong. For children facing hardships through no fault of their own, our ranches provide more than shelter. We offer a warm home, a loving family, and a future filled with hope. With open arms, we welcome these young hearts, giving them the love, structure, and guidance they need to heal, grow, and thrive in a warm Christian environment. Together, we can give Alabama's children the chance they deserve, a chance to dream, to succeed, and to feel truly cherished. Every donation stays within Alabama, directly impacting the lives of the children who need it most. Join us in making a difference. Visit AlabamaSheriff'sYouthRanches.org. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and download our app from your app store. We'd be honored to have you as a part of our mission to lift up Alabama's youth. And remember this: it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Austin Barenko with Invista Advisors. Hey, Austin, how you doing this afternoon?
Oh, having a great Monday, Joey. How about you?
Oh, life's pretty good. Now, we were talking off air for a second. I want to start with the trade deal promises. Every time they put out the hype man, and that's what he is in so many ways. It's done well for himself. Howard Lutnick. It seems like they are about to announce something, and it might not be exactly what Lutnick's laying down, but whenever they roll him out, it seems like this is like, pay attention. We're about to do something big here.
Yeah, I think so. I think you got the hype man part on. You hit the nail on the head. But it's funny how they bring him out as kind of the the hype man, and then they always bring out a more reasonable voice later down the line to kind of bring it back to center. But I don't disagree with your statement there.
Yeah. So what are you looking for in some of these trade deals? Are there particular nations that are pretty crucial that would really impact the U.S. markets?
Well, the big one over the weekend that everyone's talking about is Canada, and imposing a 35% tariff on anything excluding previously arranged trade agreements between us, and that's a pretty severe tariff. We talked about this probably 3 or 4 months ago, Joey, but I always stood by. I thought it would make more sense before we went out and just did mass tariffs on everybody to put a plan in place with our northern and southern allies, Canada and Mexico. And we didn't do that. We opted just to go straight to kind of the global scene. But now we're having to go back and negotiate a little bit harder, with our border partners. And I think that's really what you're seeing over the weekend is just a discussion about how are we going to make sure that we're getting fair treatment from our allies to the north and south. I think most people would agree that being a border with us is a bigger benefit to them than it is to us. And so how do we levelize the playing field now that both countries are, fully developed? And you've seen a variety of things in the news about how they plan to do that. But I think that's where they're coming from is, hey, let's back the card up a little bit and discuss with our local allies a good trade deal. And I fully expect us to come back to a reasonable, tariff percentage. 35 is a little steep. I don't expect it to stay there. So we'll see where it goes from there.
And yet, I remember, people like Larry Summers saying the sky is falling, and you still hear from the Federal Reserve that, they're worried about inflation because of the tariffs. I mean, if my understanding, tariffs give you potentially, like in the worst case, they give you a one-time price shock. But this is not, it doesn't seem to have materialized even with the current tariffs on. Why are they still on this?
Yeah, the one-time price shock isn't wrong, but it will also take time for them to settle into, everyday spendings. And one reason I say that is, you can front run a tariff like we saw, like Walmart, prime example. Hey, if we know tariffs are going into place on X date, let's go ahead and pre-order everything. So that one-time price shock gets offset until the second round of buying, and it's different for every product. If you fill the shelves up with product A that sit on the shelves for a year and a half, you're not going to feel the price increase of that product A until a year and a half later, whereas if product B sells out in a month, well, the cost of that product B is going to be more expensive a month from now. And so it's not really a fair assessment to say it's a one-time shock because it's a variety of products and their shelf life is different.
Okay.
In the goods space, if that makes sense.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And I guess you get arguments I've heard from Navarro and Bessent himself that some of these, say, foreign manufacturers will eat the cost of a lot of the tariffs in order to keep market share. So it seems like it isn't just, it's a 35% tariff, so everything's going to go up 35% necessarily.
That's right. And maintaining market share is crucial for some of these larger companies. I try to give a simplified example, but let's just say that you own 60% of a market share of a steel company, and your production in the U.S. accounts for 60% of the global impact, and the cost goes up 10%. Well, if you want to maintain that 60% production, you'll eat that cost to be the main provider, which is you're still able to have a kind of price selection there. So they would limit the cost to the end buyer to maintain market share and maintain their best clients. And then eventually the hope is that these would settle out and, you could come back to shedding some of that cost off on the consumer, which slowly over time tends to happen. On the front end, if you shock a consumer, they run to another provider. But if you slowly, I think about it like cable providers, right? You get 1 year of an incentive up front, but the next thing you know, 12 months later, your bill comes in at $20 higher a month. Like, what happened? And you got to call them and have a discussion. That's kind of the same way that I expect these tariffs to go once they're actually in place, is the companies will eat that up front, but eventually push it back on the consumer at a later date in small increments at a time. And they're hoping that there won't be a ton of pushback. Maybe you pick up the phone and call the cable provider and say, hey, I had a better rate, I'm going to move. And the cable provider drops your rate back down to where it was. I kind of expect a similar set of negotiations to happen with consumers and producers a year or so from now, when the producers no longer want to carry that cost on their own.
And again, folks, we're talking to Austin Barenko with Invista Advisors. Shifting gears a little bit here, I'm seeing a clip and a quote from Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. He was, I believe, on CNBC this morning or yesterday, saying, quote, what we need to do is examine the entire Federal Reserve and whether they have been successful. All of these PhDs over there, I don't know what they do. And as somebody who's long been a fan of, say, Ron Paul, or not just in the Fed, but let's say audit the Fed, I wonder where this is going to go. He's like a dog with a bone on this issue.
Yeah, he is, and I feel conflicted about it because I think that Trump was talking about firing Jerome Powell a few weeks ago, and he walked that back, and people were saying, well, Bessent's the reason he walked it back. And I think that Trump came out and was like, no, I decided to walk it back. It wasn't Bessent, which you and I both probably know it was Bessent, was the calming voice behind the scenes. But now that people are claiming that it wasn't Trump, I think Bessent had to come out and put on a little bit more aggressive facade against the Fed to make it seem like he's not just doing these things to appease Trump. Auditing the Fed and what it would mean is unique. They're very data-driven already. I don't know if auditing them is going to be something that generates anything better for the American people. I think that they've got a very narrow objective. Inflation and employment is kind of their very narrow objective. And there's only so much data that you can crunch to, decide whether to raise or lower rates. And so I think my gut tells me more than anything, Bessent's recent, media discussion is all based on trying to appease Trump and make it not seem like he's the controlling hand behind the scenes, is my gut.
And by the way, to the point you just brought up, it is a classic Trump Truth Social tweet, whatever you want to call it. Let me just read a little bit of it here. Nobody had to explain that to me. I know better than anybody what's good for the market and what's good for the USA. If it weren't for me, the market wouldn't be at record highs right now. It probably would have crashed. So get your information correct. People don't explain to me. I explain to them, which is that last sentence is a gem. We don't deserve it.
Exactly. And it cracks me up, but you and I are saying the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly right. Well, and folks, if y'all want to work with this brilliant mind here, as well as the entire team at Invista Advisors, it's really simple. It's just getting in touch with them. Of course, if you're looking to understand the macro trends in economics or at least have people on your side managing your money, looking at those trends, of course, that's happening at Invista Advisors, but they can also put together much more than just, say, an investment portfolio. It's about a holistic, across the board, long-term financial plan for you wherever you are in life and what goals you're trying to set for yourself. So call them up today, get that conversation started at 387-0094. Again, that's 387-0094. And be sure to tell them that, hey, I heard Austin Barenko on the radio with that Joey Clark fellow. I want to see what y'all can do for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joe, and you have a great week. I'll talk to you Wednesday.
Appreciate it, Austin. Again, folks, it's Austin Barenko with Invista Advisors.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The UK and Germany are leading a NATO meeting to provide military support for Ukraine, including advanced air defense systems like Patriots. The British defense chief wants Ukraine's Western partners at the meeting to launch a 50-day drive to get Kyiv the weapons it needs to fight Russia's bigger army and to force Russian President Vladimir Putin to the negotiating table. Microsoft is issuing an emergency fix to close off a vulnerability in Microsoft's SharePoint software that hackers have exploited to carry out widespread attacks on businesses and at least some federal agencies. Texas Republicans poised to redraw the state's congressional map during a special session that's ahead of the 2026 House elections. On Wall Street, the Dow had 252 points. This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-226-5454. That's 800-226-5454. 800-226-5454.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumbers. River region with the best quality building material for decades. Contractor to do-it-yourselfer. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We have a heat advisory in effect for today and again tomorrow. The heat index today, 102 to 107 easily. That's dangerous territory with the actual high around 97 both days and the low tonight down to about 76. Now, there'll be widely scattered to isolated storms around in the afternoon and evening hours, but most towns will get skipped. The rain chances perhaps a little better Wednesday through Friday as we'll be watching the northern Gulf for possible tropical development. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
You can make your ASE loan payment from your phone anytime, anywhere. It's quick and easy. YourASECreditUnion.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your cause, your ASE.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. An investigation is underway after a Saturday night shooting at a Montgomery gas station. 2 men were shot at the America's Pride gas station on Atlanta Highway. Both victims suffered serious injuries and were taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. Neither a motive nor a suspect has yet been identified. Montgomery Mayor Stephen Reed has signed the youth curfew ordinance into law. The City Council approved the curfew for the city's downtown entertainment district last week. The curfew will apply to minors under the age of 17 and will be enforced at 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 11 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. A suspect has been arrested in connection to 2 related homicides that occurred last weekend. 22-year-old Dontrez Taylor is charged with the murders of Malik Benson and DeKeith Watley. The victims were shot and killed minutes apart at 2 separate locations in the Capitol Heights area on July 12th. A motive for the murders has not yet been made public. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Hey, this is Troop with Fairland Jewelers. I've been advertising at Blue Water for going on 3 years now. Since starting advertising at Blue Water, we have seen our business grow exponentially. And if you would like to see your business grow, I suggest advertising at Blue Water Broadcasting.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
I'm Jim Smith with Adams Drugs, and what our customers say about our business is the most important advertising tool. I'm here with Ronnie Taunton, who is a longtime customer of Adams Drugs, moved away for 3 years, and came back to town recently. Ronnie, how easy was it to move your business back to Adams Drugs?
Jim, it was very easy. All we did was make a phone call to the store in Prattville. That's where we live now, and they took it from there, and I didn't do anything else.
What has your overall experience been like here at Adams Drugs?
Well, we are glad to be back with Adams. We've had quite an experience in some towns we lived in, and they have great service. You can tell that the employees are glad to be there to serve you, and I couldn't ask for any more. Whatever formula the Vinson family has, they need to keep it in a safe place because it's certainly working.
Come into any of our 12 Adams Drugs locations. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net to find the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Second hour of the program here on a fine Monday. Well, at least it's fine inside. It's got to be steaming hot. I was out at about like 7:30 this morning. It's already hot at about 8.
It's I just pulled in, it was 98 and it's still rising, you know.
Yeah, Troy Carrico's in here in the studio. How you doing?
I'm here for two reasons. Well, so actually three. One, to chew bubble gum and kick butt. I'm out of bubble gum. Number two, I'm going to get that fly. I got an electric fly swatter that I would have grabbed before I left the house.
I need to go buy my because they had to move a lot in Nashville.
Yeah.
They had the doors open to move a bunch of stuff.
Right.
And so my brother, have you used the salt gun?
Oh yeah, I've got a double barrel salt gun.
It works beautifully too.
I got one on clearance. Like I can't remember. It was at Lowe's for like there. Yeah.
Almost.
Man, if you catch him, you're almost like
I'll be like Barack Obama.
Or like in what is that spaghetti western? Is it for a few dollars more? They're waiting at the terminal and that fly's flying around, and the guy and he takes his gun and shoots it like that. So.
Yeah, and so much going on today.
Yeah.
Now, what do you make of this latest push? I read the thread at the end of last week. Tulsi Gabbard putting out this huge report. My worry is like, number one, I've heard most of the story. I remember, especially Dan Morris and myself, covering this with bated breath for years.
Right.
And Dan Bongino wrote a great book about it.
Yes.
Like several people wrote great books. Devin Nunes wrote a great book about it. Like we've known the story for a long time. It's awesome to see Tulsi put it out there with the actual documentation that had not been released before.
Right.
Proving a lot of these folks right. But I'm like, okay, it's a story we knew.
Mm-hmm.
Is there going to be any legal action here? Or is this just something to throw out to folks for the time
When
being?
I saw her come out and threaten, legal ramifications, right, for people too. She kind of laid down the gauntlet. And so I don't know, Joey. This is okay. So let's just take this as a microcosm when we're dealing with the Trump administration. Think about with Bessent and what's going on right now, and the Fed. The Fed's going to get their just desserts soon enough, I believe that. But I'm thinking, we're talking about this, there's always that element of unknown when you're dealing with Trump's administration, and that's what makes him such a wild card in foreign policy and in international trade. Now, domestically, I don't know, because sometimes I think, man, that's really myopic what they're doing. But in this case, we've already had a wealth of information put out, like you said, in the past. Now, is there going to be any ramifications for it? And I just don't know yet. I think it's too early for me to tell. And it's really not, I haven't deep dove into it. It's been a while, but I remember I read Bongino's book, and I'm certain there's something there. But what now? So,
well, and the woman that Tulsi Gabbard did the interview with over the weekend, Maria Bartiromo, Maria is one of the first people in the press to get wise what was going on. Yeah. She goes all the way back to when the Clinton emails are first dumped and leaked. She remembers the Democrats coming to her and other members of the press and immediately starting to plant the seed. The Russians did this with Trump.
Collusion.
And it is way too... Remember when Maria was like, that's way too quick to come to that conclusion. The Russians, let alone the Russians working with Trump.
Right.
Now, the Russians did this is later verified. It looks like Gabbard's somewhat questioning that, saying, oh, actually, it looks like y'all initially, when it wasn't political, thought, no, they didn't really do much to change anything. They tried things, but they didn't really pull much off. Yeah. And so immediately, I think what happened is because Hillary's email that, server and Chappaquiddick is unsecured, and apparently a lot was found later on the Anthony Weiner laptop, like 600,000 emails that the FBI supposedly couldn't find. But it seems very clear because of that embarrassing moment where those emails are leaked, they immediately had to come up with a strategy to put the blame somewhere else to make it a partisan thing. Then out of that, it grew legs into the entire Steele dossier.
Yeah, it did. You're right. I think if you're threatened by someone and you're sitting in a position of power, the idea of targeting them with collusion with Russia is a really good strategy. And then here's the other thing about it. I just go back and I think, how many times has the Clinton administration and Hillary done things that are so reprehensible and illegal, particularly in the field of intelligence, I think we've talked about this in one of your previous episodes. What goes into getting a Schiff, which is called a secured compartment information facility, in a building anywhere is major paperwork and major hurdles. How they convinced Verizon, which is the backbone provider for SIPR and JWICS up in DC and NSANet, to even bring it into the house without any, it boggles my mind.
Yeah.
So right there, Joey, tells us everything I need to know about what they're made of, and it's no bona fides, and it's probably very sinister. And now, will anything come of it, Joey? Trump has seemed to show mercy in areas that I thought he would come after people. Some people suggest he's waiting to 2026 to get through and see if we can maintain a majority in both the House and Senate, even though it's narrow thin, and then bring the hammer down. But I don't know about that. I'm not sure.
I don't know either. But again, let's just update everybody so we're all on the same page, and we can frame it in the way that Trump talked about this, or actually Trump posted about this. The video's long, so I won't necessarily play it, but
sure.
It's a video Trump just posted, hard hitting. It's the left in particular, Democrats are going crazy. The clip compiles a brutal montage of prominent Democrats all proudly declaring no one is above the law. You remember that?
I do remember that.
Only to end with a dramatic scene of former President Barack Obama being handcuffed and thrown behind bars. And it's like, it's a real video at first of Trump and Obama sitting down. And then all of a sudden, two FBI agents, it switches to AI, come in and kind of wrestle on the ground, handcuff them and stuff. The video comes after Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, released a statement alleging a treasonous conspiracy by Obama administration officials to undermine President Trump's 2016 election victory. According to Gabbard, declassified documents revealed that senior officials, including Obama himself, orchestrated a campaign to manufacture and politicize intelligence, falsely linking Trump to Russian interference. She claims his narrative laid the groundwork for subsequent investigations and impeachments, constituting what she describes as a years-long coup against a duly elected president. Now, treasonous conspiracy is a great thing to put out to the public.
Yeah.
I saw it was fascinating. Somebody was on, it was Tim Pool on X, was going back and forth with Grok.
I saw that.
Yeah, saying, is this like not seditious conspiracy? And Grok's like, no, it has to be by force.
No, that's not true. Sedition is, okay, so you have subversion. We have subversion and we have sedition, okay? And then we have complete defiance and rebellion. Sedition is the one charge that the military and intelligence community can use to get people. It's the act or the thought or the conspiracy or the inflaming of anything. If I suggest to you, Joey, hey, over at Maxwell, they have a unsecured facility over there that after hours, there's no guard. You can go over and do whatever you want over there. That's seditious. Right. That's seditious behavior. I'm inciting you to some action to do. So I think it definitely meets sedition.
And also, like, if you want to, how do we define force? Is all force violent?
No, not at all. There's
and
soft force.
You would say, like, surveillance capabilities of the federal government, is that force?
Yeah, it is. Absolutely it is.
It's quite a powerful.
It's quite intrusive.
Yes. And so if that's where the line, and I've thought this for years, it's one thing if, like, the Democrats and Hillary and Obama want to claim he colluded with Russia and he's Putin's puppet.
Simple.
You can say that. That's normal oppo partisan BS.
Sure,
but to then use the powers of the national security state to see that through, to essentially launder that political opposition into an official counterintelligence investigation.
Very serious.
Yeah, that's a clear abuse of the force of government.
And you know what's scary? If my wife's listening, she always says, can they really look into our email? Can they do what I said? Let me tell you something. The Patriot, they can do what they do what they want. And so it's no different here. It's seditious. It's not only seditious, it's subterfuge at the highest level and with an intent to destroy someone and try to retain power.
Yeah, if you're dating some gal from the NSA, don't cheat on her, fellas.
Do not.
She knows everything you're doing.
She'll get you.
And maybe she doesn't, but she has the means to know everything you've been up to for a long, long time. So I don't know what exactly comes of this, but of course, this Trump video is set to
it's great.
YMCA by the Village People. I love that. I do love that. So Gabbard announced she has submitted the explosive documents to the DOJ, calling for the prosecution of everyone involved. She emphasized that the very integrity of our democracy is at stake, and that holding these actors accountable is crucial to rebuilding public trust. Again, I'll believe it when I see it.
If it gets legs. I mean, right now it appears to have legs. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah, it's just a matter of can you bring this in another spot other than the District of Columbia? Because they voted 90-something% Democrat?
Listen, that circuit court, there's other venues they can
and they're very different than even Alabama Democrats or just Democrats that live in normal parts of the country. The Democrats in D.C., they're a strange breed.
They're definitely, how can you say it? They're team players in a different way. So
now, to me, this all, as you just heard me read, this whole Epstein thing, we shouldn't walk away from it and just shake our heads, though so many people do. And one thing I want to read here real quick. Before I read it, though, it's called The Inside Scoop on Jeffrey Epstein. It's by Alan Dershowitz, who was Epstein's lawyer, right?
Yes, he was.
So part of me is I don't fully trust Alan.
Right. Well, because his name's been Alec.
Sure. He's like, no, I've only ever been with my wife. I don't even hug people that aren't my wife. I'm like, okay, Alan. I'll protest too much.
They asked me things.
Here's what he writes. He says, I was Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer. I know the facts, some of which I can't disclose because it is privileged or subject to court-imposed sealing orders. But what I can disclose makes several important things clear. Epstein never created a client list. The FBI interviewed alleged victims who named several clients. These names have been redacted. They should be disclosed, but the courts have ordered them sealed. I know who they are. They don't include any current office holders. We don't know whether the accusations are true. So, number one, never created a client list. I believe that.
I totally believe he does. There's no master list.
Right. It's not Mission Impossible. Really, let's get the knock list.
Check.
That's not how this works.
I don't think that's how it is. No.
He said not current office holders.
Yes.
He did go on to name names in some of these interviews. I think there's some that are fairly well known, like Prince Andrew, former Prime Minister Israel Ehud Barak, I believe.
I saw that too.
And one of the girls is accused of him being a client. But here, I'll just keep going with Dershowitz. We don't know whether the accusations are true. The courts have also sealed negative information about some of the accusers to protect them. Neither the Justice Department nor private defense lawyers are free to disregard court sealing orders. The media can and should petition the courts for the release of all names and information so the public can draw its own conclusions. There has also been speculation about incriminating videos taken by hidden cameras in Epstein's guest bedrooms. There are videotapes, but they are of public areas of his Palm Beach, Florida home. Epstein reported the theft of money and a licensed firearm from a drawer in his living room, so the police installed a video camera. I'm not aware of video cameras in guest bedrooms. Now, that's clever language I'm not aware of.
He has a client attorney privilege anyhow. He may not divulge, So.
Right. Open records show an acquaintance between Epstein and Mr. Trump many years ago. That relationship ended when Mr. Trump reportedly banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago long before becoming president. I have seen nothing that would suggest anything improper or even questionable by Mr. Trump. And honestly, even there are a lot of Democrats saying that letter the Wall Street Journal put out that, it doesn't seem like that guy. It is clear from the evidence, writes Alan Dershowitz, that Epstein committed suicide. Oh, is it? What is it? Michael Bodden did the other?
Yeah.
What did he say? No.
It's much more clear that he was killed.
What isn't clear is whether he was assisted by jail personnel. Well, okay. suicide, assisted suicide. Who did the autopsy? Dr. Kevorkian?
Kevorkian did it. Yeah.
That seems likely to me, Dershowitz says, based on evidence of alleged broken cameras, transfer of his cellmate, and the absence of guards during relevant time periods. I have absolutely no doubt that Epstein never worked for any intelligence agency. That's too definitive. If he had, he would surely have told me and his other lawyers, who would have used that information to get him a better deal. He wasn't satisfied with the so-called sweetheart deal he got, which required him to spend 1.5 years in a local jail and register as a sex offender. My sources in Israel have confirmed to me that he had no connections to Israeli intelligence.
No.
That false story, recently peddled by Tucker Carlson, probably emanated from credible allegations that Robert Maxwell, father of Epstein's former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, worked with Mossad. The conspiracy stories attract readers, viewers, and listeners, writes Dershowitz. They are also fodder for political attacks. The Epstein case has generated more than its share of such theories, and there is nothing more annoying to gossip mongers than when stubborn facts or the absence of facts get in the way of juicy theory. Sorry to disappoint you, but there is really nothing much to see here beyond what has already been disclosed. And I don't believe you, Alan. Especially in all the, absolutely no doubt Epstein never worked for any intelligence agency.
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't know if that were the case anyhow. And the thing about it is, the problem that we have is that Trump made a very poignant portion of his campaign to address this. Okay. Now he's kind of put in this corner. Well, then why are you not releasing it? Is there something you don't want us to know?
It's the about face.
And that's
what I don't care what the Democrats are saying.
That's really what's at contest here. Honestly, it may not be. It may be pretty bucolic inside of there. I don't know. But the problem is, what do people do, Joey, when they don't have all the information? They start to what? Fill in the blanks with other information. And that's kind of where this crap show is going to.
Well, and okay, when they do these absolute denials of working for intelligence agencies, isn't it like stock and trade of intelligence agencies, especially with covert stuff, to be able to do absolute denials?
Absolutely.
Yes, you're right.
Absolutely. There's nothing to see here. This man is not working for Mossad.
Well, and also, maybe you're not literally working for Mossad or Israeli Defense Intelligence or MI6 or the agency or any of these. Right. You don't officially work for them, but you have a handler.
You have a handler somewhere.
Well, and they say Epstein never blackmailed anybody. Well, did Epstein collect information that others would use as blackmail?
That's exactly that. If you ask me my opinion, where's the meat at in the body of this dead horse? It's really still in what leverage, because as we say in the intelligence community, the easiest way to get somebody is the honeypot. When you put the girl out there and she gets incriminating photos, and it's not so much what you did, it's leverage against giving that back to your family and to your nation and to your agency. And so, yeah, I mean, let's be honest. He is a perfect setup for whatever nefarious agency might want to blackmail or control people.
Yeah, and I revisited it about a year ago. Eric Weinstein went on the Modern Wisdom podcast with Chris Williamson and described in detail his meeting with Epstein, saying it was the most interesting / most scary meeting he had ever had.
Talking about setting in the conference and his pictures, and he's like, there's got to be cameras.
And so the story is like the guy's a disgraced financier that he's doing foreign exchange trading and doing big money. Like, if you don't have $1 billion to spend with Jeffrey, Jeffrey doesn't want to talk to you. And people are like, well, if he was running that big of a trading operation, there would have to be a record of that. Like, legally speaking, there would have to be a record of that.
Some regulation on it. Yeah.
Where's that record? Does that exist? And Weinstein at the time was managing partner for Teal Capital. Yeah, right. So he's in the markets.
It's no slouch.
And he said Epstein walks in, he can tell there's a little camera.
Yeah, I remember that.
Behind one of these
weird. He said there were strange paintings.
Then he said it was this long table that was skinny with the American flag draped over it to look like a coffin, essentially. And so they're handing him coffee, where it's like, okay, the interviewer's asking Weinstein, what do you mean weird? He's like, somebody invites you in, has a young girl with a low-cut dress who's bouncing, let's say, gets your attention there. is very clearly, because I'm in finance, it's like, oh, I just got to own some major trade stuff. Has no idea. He's not a financier. He has no idea what he's talking about. He somehow knows about a bunch of my own scientific endeavors, Weinstein says, that nobody knows about unless you're at the Harvard math department.
Well,
how does he know all this stuff? And you sit there and you kind of wonder, like, what is this guy? It's when you say Jeffrey Epstein, you're not just talking about a man. What is this thing that is propping up this guy?
He is a master scavenger. You know, he would have been a good intelligence asset because he was able to basically Ponzi scheme people and just flip money. And he said, you know what he said? I remember in one of I can't remember what book it was in, but he made a statement. I think he made a statement. It was to might have been Trump actually. He said, I deal with so much money that my clients don't even know what I'm doing at any given point and that what the outcome. So think about that. He's a kingmaker. I mean, he bought Harvard. I mean, he bought their loyalty for a while. I mean, which isn't hard to do anymore. But the thing is, I would argue this: he is a charlatan of the first order magnitude. Very, very powerful in that regard. So you and I both know it's quite reasonable. There's a lot more to this story.
Sure.
But what is its relevance? And my thoughts are this: Trump's got a lot of irons in the fire and things that need to be taken care of. And I think this could be for him just background noise that he doesn't want to have to deal with. I'm just speculating. I don't know.
Well, the abrupt about face is what keeps tripping me up.
It's troubling.
It's a big tell. And I don't know what it's telling us. Now, it could be that, again, Epstein is not just a man who was, convicted, that he is, he's almost like a tool to be used for gain. And control.
He's a vessel.
And maybe there were several people using these sorts of things. And so by the time you actually get the so-called Epstein files, there's a lot in there that is like you can't make heads or tails of what's real.
You know what? You hit a good point. I'm guessing after that point when he had the deal where he had to check into the jail and then could go out in the day and all that, some people probably, some vultures circled around and probably have deep claws in him and were able to manipulate and direct traffic and order this and that. So maybe there's something there that they don't want us to see.
But that deal in the early 2000s, like that, the local PD first started it.
I know.
And you would think for somebody like Alex Acosta, who later became Trump's labor secretary, he's the U.S. attorney, the Southern District there in Florida. At that time, that is like a career-making case. You brought down a billionaire that is abusing and doing wretched things to young girls. And the whole scheme they had of having the girls recruit more girls. And and where they went wrong is they recruited one girl who had a really good family. And she told them what happened. And that's when the speculation started. And it's like you have 30 witnesses, 30 credible witnesses saying he was doing this stuff. All of a sudden, without telling the lead prosecutor, without telling the victims, they make a deal. And it's an incredible sweetheart deal. And by the way, when you say he's in the county jail, he apparently donated. So he essentially had an entire wing.
He had a suite. They set a whole setup, office equipment, and everything. He wasn't really.
And when some of the folks were saying he's violating his parole, like he's going to Paris, he's leaving the country and all this stuff, they didn't care. Try, if you're the average bear, try to violate your parole. Like, they're going to come after you. Like, it's
only drug lords and Jeffrey Epstein get to do their own wings of prisons and stuff.
And so, again, when I see Mr. Dershowitz go on and say, I have absolutely no doubt that Epstein never worked for any intelligence agency. If he had, he surely would have told me. Sure. And also, the killing himself thing doesn't make sense in this. If you follow the guy's personality,
no, he didn't.
He's very full of himself. Like he is the height of hubris.
He is vanity made over, and he serves as a warning to us to not take that path.
So I don't know. I get it's not about Trump to me. It's about how everybody who seems to promise we're going to put this stuff out there immediately flips their script. So it's like, and it makes everybody who's not seeing the stuff behind the scenes go, oh, what the
heck's going on back here? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Fill in the blanks. And that's what happens. And, but let's back up. I mean, this isn't just Epstein. This is UAPs. This is JFK.
Yes.
This is Martin Luther King. This is all the things that we were promised, but it's a big nothing burger at the end of the day. So,
well, and then you look at, say, the UAP thing.
Yeah.
Came out that it was an entire department that was just completely faked.
Now, listen, so I spoke to, and by the way, Lou is willing to come back on the show because you're right. You picked up that piece where they tried to deny that there was never that department. I've been at the Pentagon. I've had lunch with him multiple times in his office. I know what his organization was, and I know several of his employees that he had. Now it's like you said, and in intelligence, deny. There's no record of this.
Well, and I mean, but that's part of also counterintelligence is you fake operations all the time to throw off your enemies. This suggests we have certain capabilities, or what? Operation Overlord, you had the whole other, like the fake dummy.
The ghost in the machine, man. The phantom units.
Right. And so this is just common. And I can't imagine like the sophistication of the intelligence at this point. But remember what the Israelis said after the Patriot attack. It's like we're making a movie. We produce everything. We produce the reality around you.
You're absolutely right.
And to where even their most dogged enemies, who literally want to wipe them off the map, didn't know that they're buying essentially small bombs that they're putting in their own pockets.
It was a master stroke of counterintelligence and intelligence operations.
And so when you see stuff like that, you're like, that's just one that we know about. And you just got to wonder, okay, what the hell is going on behind the scenes?
So there's a series of videos that First PSYOPs Command put out from the U.S. Army. They're very profound and powerful. I'm going to send them to you. You got to look at them. It's only about 2.5 minutes, but it captures in a microcosm the asymmetric contemporary operating environment of all this data. It's scary. It's called Ghost in the Machine, and it's spooky, but it's a recruiting video. But I think you might want to look at it and play it. I think it gives you a real introspection to the way that community of practice operates and things. So,
well, we got to hit a break, but 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Maybe you're not local. 1-800-289-9228. This part of the program, talking about all this unknown aspects of the government and who's did what with
the spooky
whatever. It makes me hungry for some reason.
No, yes.
And right now, I wish I had the time to just leave the studio and go get the meat and 3 there at Smokehouse Pit Barbecue. Man, it's such good eating.
What would you get, Joey?
I'd probably do either fried catfish or just some fried chicken today.
Fried chicken sounds good.
Yeah, maybe some fried okra and mac and cheese.
Yeah, fried okra, love it. Yeah.
I might even go in for some cobbler. Like some peach cobbler or something like that.
So you do a little more cardio tomorrow. You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, I'm going to be all pumped up. That's right. All right. And then, of course, it's not just an amazing lunch options. They have great dinners there. Of course, you got to try the brisket, the ribs, the pulled pork, the cam stew. And then don't get me started on the breakfast. I would love that Chris over there at Smokehouse corrected me. It's not cheese grits. It's called grit cheese. Grit cheese. Yeah, this is grit cheese, Joey.
It's mostly cheese.
And I mean it. You take a metal spoon, you put it in the center, and it stands straight up like Excalibur.
That's the way it should be.
I like that. And, of course, they have very generous side portions. So you get a side of bacon. It's 3 big, thick cut strips of bacon. Oh, yeah. And it's like that with every side they throw at you. If you can't decide, they've got the fat boy, the big boy breakfast, where you get a big old pancake and all the other different breakfast meats they have on offer. You can get customized biscuits and burritos and sandwiches.
And they're back to the original sauces, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. The original recipes across the board with the barbecue. Right, so y'all check out Smokehouse Pit Barbecue today. Just get by there. Same location they've always been, Main Street in Millbrook. And be sure to tell Celeste and Chris that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. So far this year, over 2,600 homes have sold and closed in the River region. 55% of these homes sold in 60 days or less, and sellers are receiving close to 98% of listed price. Over the last year, average prices in the River region have increased over 10% from last year. We do have more inventory now to show buyers before they purchase. There are homes in all price ranges available for buyers interested in moving. As a seller, it's a great time to sell through a realtor and gain access to many buyers, not just one or two. If you are a buyer, having more homes to pick from give you better choices before you buy. Our market is now more balanced between a buyer and seller market than we've seen since 2019. Get the facts, see the inventory, get a great local lender to help you, and an agent that's going to look after your interests. For all the facts, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group, 221-2883 or 551-0225.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll-free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Join us tomorrow from 11:30 to 12:30 at Riverside Chevrolet, US 231 in Wetumpka, for our Paw It Forward Pet Drive. Drop off your pet shelter supplies to help the River Region Humane Societies.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Hi, it's Jonathan Cotton with the Good Feet Store. When your feet aren't properly supported, it can affect your whole body, your back, your ankles. You might be thinking there's no way something as simple as Good Feet arch supports can help me. Well, that's exactly what Bill thought.
My feet would just ache, my back would hurt, my ankles, everything just hurt. And I'd seen the commercial several times before I finally said, I'm going to do this. And I'll be darned if it didn't work. I feel a million times better than I ever did.
Visit the Good Feet store for a free fitting and test walk. If you want to live free from pain, come visit the Good Feet store and take the first step towards a more comfortable, healthier you. Wendy's experience might inspire you too.
Since wearing my arch supports from the Good Feet store, my back pain is gone and my feet don't hurt as much. And as I look into the future without pain, I see myself being even more adventurous, joyful, and full of possibility.
Visit goodfeet.com to book your appointment today.
Filing form 2290 again? VINs, weights, EINs. What a nightmare.
Not with 2290.ai, the first AI-powered 2290 e-filing platform. Just snap or scan last year's Schedule 1 and hit submit, even if you're on the go.
Wait, with just a photo?
Yep. Our smart platform reads, validates, and files it in minutes. With real-time AI checks and instant Schedule 1 delivery, you can stay road ready and file fast.
Whoa, I just got my Schedule 1. Already?
That's right. Whether you're a solo hauler or running a fleet, smart truckers use smart tech. Just go to 2290.ai to snap or scan and submit anywhere, anytime.
Powered by ZenWork.
Use code RADIO at checkout for 20% off your first filing. Only at 2290.ai. That's 2290.ai with code RADIO at checkout for 20% off. 2290.ai.
Hello there, this is Dr. Sam, account executive with Blue Water Broadcasting. Why should you advertise with us? Frequency sells. The more ads you can get on the air, the better the chance it'll make an impact. Radio allows advertisers an inexpensive way to get their voice heard over and over again. Contact me, Dr. Sam, by going to BlueWaterBroadcasting.com to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business. Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend, must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We have a heat advisory in effect for today and again tomorrow. The heat index today, 102 to 107 easily. That's dangerous territory with the actual high around 97 both days and the low tonight down to about 76. Now, there'll be widely scattered to isolated storms around in the afternoon and evening hours, but most towns will get skipped. The rain chances perhaps a little better Wednesday through Friday as we'll be watching the northern Gulf for possible tropical development. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Is cocaine a stronger up?
Yeah.
So you're way up with cocaine more than anything else you can think of.
Cocaine will turn you into a damn owl, homie. You know what I'm saying?
How you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Another show, another Monday, another week kicking off. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me. And on the phones, we've got a couple fellas. Let's go to Clark. Hey, Clark, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Mr. Clark. How are you?
Good.
That's a good thing. So, while you're talking about the Epstein case and Operation Berry Fire Hurricane, you know, some of what I do is treat abscesses. Now, an abscess starts out with an infection, and it gets more infected. And eventually you get that abscess, and if you let it go on, you get severe inflammatory responses, bacteremia, septicemia. It makes the entire host very systemically ill. The earlier you can intervene, the better off you are. Both cases are abscesses in our country. Now, we incise an abscess, we let the corruption out, then we begin to flush and we debride, we trim away whatever's still corrupted. And then you know what can start to happen? It can begin to heal. And until we expose this corruption, it's just going to keep festering and festering. It's making us systemically ill. These are abscesses on our country. And I can't imagine anybody thinking, well, the fallout would be so bad. Right. Next time I've got an abscess, well, incising it would be so bad. The stuff will smell so bad, we're just going to let it go. No, that doesn't work.
Well, and
Now,
then you also
I
got
suppose-
to worry too. There's other folks be like, "Hey, that abscess is my friend."
Tell you what, if you're a friend of an abscess, I don't want you to be my friend.
Amen.
We don't need to cross the aisle and have to do with friends of abscesses.
Well,
But anyway,
you were going to say something else. I interrupted you.
that's okay. No. So, yeah, letting this fester is just not in anybody's best interest. I suppose the only way we get just this instead of just us is we demand it.
Yes.
And keep demanding it.
You know,
Yes.
And just demonstrate we will not settle for less.
you know, Joey.
And, you know,
Hey, Clark.
if the Epstein...
Hey, Clark,
Yes, sir.
let me throw something to you. What you just said there was profound for a minute, because it reminds me of what the words are. We were just talking about psyops and special warfare.
Mm-hmm.
And at the JFK Special Warfare School, above when you walk in, it says the most dangerous weapon in the hands of an oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. And right now, it's almost like they're playing. It's almost like they're doing psyops
Yes.
on this. It's
Yes.
nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. There's no abscess over here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm with you, Clark. I think you're spot on. We can't compromise.
No, yes. Well, I appreciate the time. Y'all take care, and I'll keep listening.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Clark.
brother.
Let's go to Chris. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Hey guys, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chris.
Real quick, Jeffrey Epstein was almost a billionaire, and somehow this Leslie Wexner guy from Ohio,
Yep.
founder of, ended up giving this guy all his money, or
did.
pretty much his whole estate, which is odd. Of course,
Yeah.
the connection with Victoria's Secrets that makes
The
it even more
Express, the
interesting.
Limited. He was the biggest benefit. I'm from Ohio. He was the largest benefactor to Ohio State University, and then he just gave his fortune away.
Yeah, he within 2 years
Yeah,
of meeting Epstein,
bizarre.
he gives him total power of attorney
Totally
over
bizarre.
his estate. Crazy.
That is, yeah, it is great. And then on top of that, I listened to a podcast about Epstein, and it was pretty interesting. They said that Epstein was involved in the sale of Air America, which during Iran-Contra was running drugs for the U.S. government.
That goes back to Vietnam. You're right. The CIA
Yeah,
front
the Vietnam.
operation. Yeah, you're right.
Right, and so somehow when it was all found out during the Reagan administration, and they kind of wanted to get rid of it, somehow Epstein was involved in the sale of it, and they ended up selling it to somebody, and it went default like a year later. So it's just all these weird connections with this guy. How did he get involved to sell of Air America? I mean, it's just bizarre. I mean, and you know, you're talking about this abscess. The reason why no one does anything, even though there's an abscess, you can't get rid of it, because the abscess has pictures on you, and that's the problem. And so I don't understand. I just
Or think of it
there's
this
so many
way:
weird connections.
the abscess is so nasty and smelly that just by pointing out that you're associated with it,
Now
even though it's not true,
You're-
you're just as nasty and
That's
smelly.
right. The funk gets on you.
Do you think that possibly that they brought back this Epstein stuff simply because they knew that they were going to start releasing the information about Obama and his connection with all this Russiagate stuff?
I see this more as a self-inflicted wound. It all goes to that DOJ memo saying, kind of nothing here. And I was already starting to get bad feelings when I saw Kash Patel on about a month ago with Rogan.
Yeah.
So I obviously now the Democrats have pounced on this. A lot of the corporate media has pounced on this, and in some ways comical, like that Wall Street Journal piece about the naked woman drawing and letter, whatever.
The body letter.
That's just, I think, it's a little silly.
How can an organization like Wall Street Journal produce something like that?
Well, these reporters
they can,
were.
But why would they?
I mean, these are the same folks involved with Hillary and the Steele dossier reporting. Like, they're players. They're not just, I want the truth and nothing but the truth. They're very quick to, like Pontius Pilate, say, what is truth? Who am I serving here? And I think, especially at that level of journalism, they're headhunters. They're going for scalps, and they have a certain group they're working for usually.
And then the last thing is the thought. Who was the gentleman? Who was the lawyer guy that was saying that this guy has no connection with any type of
Dershowitz.
intelligence?
Mr. Dershowitz.
I mean, come on, man.
Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
Unbelievable. Well, do you think maybe Trump doesn't want all this stuff to come out because possibly there's so many wealthy and connected people that it could cause all sorts of strife all over the world,
I do.
government.
Well, and everybody,
Yeah.
it's like, what is it, a Mexican standoff?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, to where all sorts of people will start firing.
Mutually assured destruction
like,
right there.
And also it could be like, it could be personal. It could be somebody testified and one of the witnesses,
It's
maybe
written.
some affidavit said Mr. Trump did this or that.
or maybe there's useful information here that will come out at a later date.
That too.
Like he just said. So
unbelievable. I mean, we are living in a movie.
You got to wonder who are the producers, who's the director,
story.
who's actually running this show.
The never-ending story, part 2.
It is. I love it, man. I appreciate all y'all do on the radio. Thanks a lot.
Good call. Thanks,
Chris. This part of the program, in fact, the entire hour, brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you with buying a home. Maybe you're just trying to see what position you're in. Are you in a position at all to buy a home? Call them up. Let them at least, look at your credit. Maybe you're not ready. They'll give you steps on how to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're like, hey, you need to save a little more for a down payment. Or it could be you're golden. Like you got the money saved, you got the good credit score. Here's how much home you could afford. And they'll walk with you every step of the way from pre-approval all the way to closing day. And of course, a lot of folks are refinancing right now.
Yeah.
Some folks get credit card debt off their back. Apparently, a lot of folks took out that home equity line of credit or the second mortgage thing, and there were adjustable rates.
Yeah, and that's not
and they're
good.
getting hit pretty hard with current interest rate environments. So, yeah, if you're trying to get out of a terrible situation like that, they can help you there at Alabama Home Mortgage. Or it could be you just want to reinvest in yourself, your family, your property. Whatever your goals, they got your back. That number, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. And MLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. Could I do a little bit of a palate cleanser, a little bit of something stupid here?
I like stupid things.
And I do hesitate a little bit.
Oh, no.
But first off, the source is the U.S. Sun. The Sun.
Oh, I like the Sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are they still? They're still around?
Oh, yeah. They're like a old school British kind of
tabloid. They used to be in
tabloids.
the supermarket line and all that. I always looked at it and was like, oh, my, look.
Right.
Aliens have bred with a Cocker Spaniel. Now we have a baby that claims that Obama's his daddy.
Well, and I encourage everybody, because everybody, it's easy to make jokes about North Korea. There's an old book at this point called Dear Reader by Michael Malice, where he went to the country, he collected a lot of their propaganda stuff. And it starts off as like you're reading a comedy because the propaganda is so absurd. And then he sort of unveils, no, think of the millions being held prisoner. And all these great folks I met who are just like you and me, who are being held captive there. So keep that in mind. I get that that's a hardcore reality. And maybe Kim Jong-un wants to make a deal. Maybe he's realizing, though, if I make a deal, I'm dead for whatever reason. So maybe Trump will be able to pull that off and fix the Rubik's Cube there. But here's the headline from The Sun.
He needs Wegovy.
Fat Boy Kim. Fridge raiding Kim Jong-un, sparing no expense to get his hands on Ozempic. But he'll test on guinea pig civilians first. He's suspected to suffer from high blood pressure and diabetes, as well as gout.
Good diet over there, I'm sure.
It comes as sources told how the North Korean tyrant's obesity-related health problems has forced a shift in his role as supreme leader, sparing no effort or expense to get his hands on weight loss drugs. Wary Kim has now ordered his close confidants to find new medicines abroad to help him trim back, such as Ozempic or a similar drug. By the way, do you think Mike Pompeo used one of these things?
Well, I'm thinking that you remember when Trump's friend called him and said, Mr. President. And he goes, and he calls me Mr. President because he's polite like that and respectful. I'm over here in England and I'm paying $80 for Wegovy. It's $800 in New Jersey. It ain't working. It ain't working. That's what I'm thinking right now. With he'll go in and he'll bring his little rocket man a whole care package full of Wegovy and stuff.
Insiders say Fridge Raider Kim, who is known to have a legendary appetite, will likely bulk buy a weight loss drug before testing it on citizens with a similar figure. I mean, how many North Koreans are
There's not
fat?
many that are in that. They got tapeworms. A lot of them have tapeworms.
One senior North Korea observer said, if the past is any guide, it is probable that they'd make a bulk purchase because it's a new drug and a new drug to Kim. They might even select North Korean citizens with a similar body type and medical history as Kim, so they try the drug first for any side effects. Kim's father, Kim Jong-il, once had some of his aides injected with opiates. That way, if he became dependent or addicted, they'd all have to detox together.
Misery loves company, Joey. Misery loves company.
Plump Kim, who stands at just 5'6", tipped the scales at a whopping 22 stone. What is that?
That's almost 260 pounds, I think.
Woo.
280 pounds, yeah.
Woo. Eye-opening images revealed a drastic weight loss in 2021, but the Supreme Leader has again ballooned up to over 20 stone. He's suspected to suffer from high blood pressure and diabetes, as well as gout, joint pain linked to a rich diet. Yeah, there was one kick where I kept going into Fresh Market and buying steak.
Yeah.
And this one of the guys, the butchers behind the counter, like it was the fourth day in a row. He goes, "Boy, you're going to get gout."
You're going to get gout.
I'm like, okay, I won't buy your steak anymore. Or as often. Yeah.
You're going to get gout.
Yeah. It's how he said it to me. I'm like,
you'll get gout.
And I'm like, give me my rib.
Hey, for some people, maybe, but not me.
Both Kim's father and grandfather died from heart issues, making the dictator likely fearful of the same fate.
My conversion rates. I mean, I am a Joey. I'm a content machine that you can trust. 280 pounds is 20 stone.
280
I said
pounds.
260, 280. I said
It's
been a while since I've done the stone conversion.
For a guy who's only 5'6", that's a lot of weight.
It is. So, wait, you know what? He has the weight of the world on him, Joey.
Yeah, or the Stalinist world, the last holdout of the Stalinist world. People say visiting, it's like you go in a time machine.
Do you remember the story? It was a hideous story. There was a defector that made it across the DMZ, and he was in a unit that was considered an elite unit in the North Korean Defense Forces, the PRK. He had a 28-foot long tapeworm in his intestines.
Oh my God!
When he defected because he was like malnourished, and they were checking him out, and they found out. I mean, a ginormous tapeworm in him from eating bad meat.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's terrible.
It's very terrible. By the way, he doesn't walk any great distances.
I don't think so.
And he uses the car more often to travel short distances at public engagements. This also raises the question, what has caused the weight gain? Is it a combination of compulsive stress eating, maybe the weight of the world on his shoulders?
Yeah, I eat because I'm happy, or sad, and sad because I eat.
I eat because I'm unhappy, and I'm unhappy
it's a
because I
vicious
eat.
cycle. That's
Gotta love Austin Powers.
love
man.
it.
Dr. Evil, you get your mojo, and I get your baby.
Come here, wee man. Wee man.
So I don't know what's going on with sickly Kim Jong-un.
Apparently, his pleasure brigade of young Swedish girls are not keeping him in shape. He's not doing enough cardio.
Yeah, of all the vices to have when you are a dictator, that seems like getting fat seems so cliche.
Yeah, it does.
Anyway, 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. Only an hour left. Show's flying by. Really do appreciate you stopping by on short notice, man.
You know how I am. I don't ever want to hear you called solo. All right, that's not a good call sign for you because you are a man of the people.
I can also. I mean, I can do the solo.
I know you're great at it, but
I do get lonely up here.
I know that, and I'm here, like I said, to encourage you and to sometimes cause you to make bad decisions.
You're an enabler.
Hey, listen, you know what? When I go out and if I've had a little too much to drink, Robin goes, you're drunk. I say, that bartender overserved me. I was drunk. I displace blame. That's
a classic drunk move.
I'm an intelligence guy.
Before you get me out, let me use the bathroom. Right.
Why did you give me so much?
This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health, and they're at Montgomery Men's Health. They're ready to help you fellas out, especially if you feel tired, sluggish, just not like yourself. And there's a lot of guys that feel that way, and they just assume it's part of getting older.
Andropause. And, Kim Jong could use that. Maybe he needs to get hooked up with them because they could do it today for him.
Yeah, and so if you've got low energies and performance issues in all of life, including in the bedroom, these things aren't inevitable. It's not just part of getting older. Solutions exist. And so why not go by Montgomery Men's Health? It's real science, no guesswork, no gimmicks, and their urologists and providers there will tailor solutions specifically to your body and goals. And it's not just testosterone, maybe ED treatments and other options many men don't even know exist are available there at Montgomery Men's Health. So stop by a consultation, including blood work, to get your testosterone score. You also get a PSA score, great marker for prostate health. It's just $99 with results before you leave. And in fact, they have treatments there. If you choose those particular treatments, that'll make you feel better the very same day.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Act now. You only got one life. Procrastination can only make this worse, fellas. Hey, it's not just guys in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. If you're in your 20s or 30s, you feel like crap.
You've seen these articles, right? With all the testosterone, all the growth hormones that are in meats.
Right. And if you
guys are getting it on,
if you follow the raw egg nationalists and you tried sunning your testicles and that didn't work, why not try a real thing? Like going by Montgomery Men's Health, some real science over there. That number 440-3663. That's 440-3663, or visit MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today. Final hour coming up.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Russia has launched one of its largest aerial assaults on Ukraine in months, targeting Kyiv overnight into Monday. Ukrainian officials report 2 deaths and 15 injuries. The escalation came hours before the UK and Germany led a NATO meeting on military support for Ukraine, including advanced air defense systems like Patriots. Vietnam bracing for Typhoon Wifa. The storm has already proved deadly in the Philippines, where it intensified monsoon rains and killed at least 3 people over the weekend. President Trump threatening to hold up a stadium deal for Washington's football team if it doesn't restore its old name. The president said the Washington Commanders should revert back to the Washington Redskins. On Wall Street, the Dow is up now 206 points. This is SRN News.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking and the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword micro to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Shinbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Shinbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We have a heat advisory in effect for today and again tomorrow. The heat index today, 102 to 107 easily. That's dangerous territory with the actual high around 97 both days and the low tonight down to about 76. Now, there'll be widely scattered to isolated storms around in the afternoon and evening hours, but most towns will get skipped. The rain chance is perhaps a little better Wednesday through Friday as we'll be watching the northern Gulf for possible tropical development. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At CB&S Bank, we've been meeting the needs of our customers since 1906. Need help setting up new business goals? Our line of commercial loans can help you achieve them. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
1819 News with Andrea Tice.
Good afternoon. I'm Carl Brady for Andrea Tice. Earlier this year, in response to inquiries from 1819 News, Samford University scrubbed references to its diversity, equity, and inclusion programs from parts of its website. Supporters of the university and board members were told that the school does not have an active DEI program. However, a job posting last week contradicts the claims by specifically seeking a candidate with DEI training and experience and indicating that their job responsibilities will include a campus program focused on DEI. The job posting has been removed from the school's website, but it remains on external sites, including ZipRecruiter. More afternoon news coming after this.
Some of the greatest blessings is just having people that care about you, to have someone that's just going to love you and make you feel important. They encourage you to be in church. They encourage you to be in prayer. They encourage you to be in your Bible. Now it's a part of my day every day. My house parents planted seeds in me that you can see where those seeds have sprouted in my life and helped change my life.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children,
needing a chance.
Many Alabama political stories came to an end Saturday evening with the death of George Callahan of Theodore. He was a former state senator and Republican activist. He was also the brother of the late Sonny Callahan, who represented Alabama's 1st District in Congress. Services will be announced at a later date. One man has been arrested after a homicide on Saturday in Tallapoosa County. Police in Alexander City, responding to a home invasion robbery call, discovered 32-year-old Toya Scofer dead from a gunshot wound. 22-year-old Stephen Abercrombie has been charged with capital murder. That investigation is ongoing. For 1819 News, I'm Carl Brady.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Wet feet, melting popsicles, puppy prints. Summer is hard on floors, but Pergo Vinyl by Mohawk is kid-proof, pet-proof, and life-proof. And right now during the Pergo event at Prattville Carpet, you can get luxury vinyl, worry-free floors, plus up to $1,000 in rebates on qualifying Pergo products. So gorgeous new floors up to $1,000 back. And did I mention 12 months no interest? Get the details and shop Mohawk's Pergo event now through August 11th at PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Since 1966, Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches has been more than just a place to stay. It's been a place to belong. For children facing hardships through no fault of their own, our ranches provide more than shelter. We offer a warm home, a loving family, and a future filled with hope. With open arms, we welcome these young hearts, giving them the love, structure, and guidance they need to heal, grow, and thrive in a warm Christian environment. Together, we can give Alabama's children the chance they deserve, a chance to dream, to succeed, and to feel truly cherished. Every donation stays within Alabama, directly impacting the lives of the children who need it most. Join us in making a difference. Visit AlabamaSheriff'sYouthRanches.org. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and download our app from your app store. We'd be honored to have you as a part of our mission to lift up Alabama's youth. And remember this, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Final hour here of the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me.
Hello.
272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Just checking out 1819 News here, saying another state bordering Alabama moves to eliminate state income tax. Georgia officials now announced it. Great job. And by the way, Senator Katie Britt is on a roll. She called for the release of the Epstein information.
She sure did.
Then she went viral over dressing down Chris Murphy on the Senate floor, and people still don't know what they talked about.
Finger going too,
and then the slicing hand as well. I'm like, whoa. Ooh. And then she's now coming out commending the cuts to NPR and PBS in the rescissions bill.
Yeah.
Saying we are sick of the left pushing their agenda into every crevice of America.
Todd Stacey, are you listening?
No, Jeff Porter did a great write-up on Todd Stacey had on the heads, the executives of Alabama Public Television. And Todd himself went on a long thing saying, I over the years have gotten frustrated. We're not NPR, we're not PBS. I've seen them go leftward. And I'm like, okay.
But you're still funded by taxpayer dollars in the state, and you're influencing their thoughts. And I wrote this months ago in 1819 about that. But yeah, and by the way, I do have a op-ed coming out. They're moving me to Fridays. I think they don't like us together because maybe we're just
it's too much.
It's like the Wonder Twins back in the days, like form of a bucket of water, form of a falcon. A poop hawk to drop it. Anyways, I want to say I take her to task on the topic's going to be the butcher's bill of the legacy, the failed legacy of Kay Ivey. And here's one for you. That overtime tax, do you know how important that was to so many Alabamians?
Oh, absolutely.
And then here we are saying we pioneered it for a while, and then they let it lapse in June. Gone.
It's a shame.
My son, my stepson, it affects him drastically. I mean, he's just sad, very sad.
Yeah, no, and I talked to the speaker himself about it, and he gave his whole spiel about. I think they're worried about the Education Trust Fund. They don't want to have to take away from the traditional schools to keep funding what is very popular school choice.
I get that.
But I think the money's there. I think it would have been available. I think it was a partial removal of, say, income taxes. And now as you see another state moving, Georgia right next to us, and most of these states around us, especially Georgia and Florida.
Tennessee as well. They've already been income tax free.
There was it was put out today or yesterday. Let's see what it is. It's the top 10 strongest state economies.
Yeah.
And Alabama's not on the list.
No, that's why I wrote this article is, listen, do you think businesses want to come here? No.
Right.
Not with that kind of
not in the same way as Florida and Georgia and Tennessee.
Tennessee, that's right.
Let's go to the phones and talk to Duke. Hey, Duke, how you doing?
Who wants to come here to work and hell, they won't give you, they don't want to cut the tax on overtime that Trump, people claim they love him so much. He was for it. Don't let me get started on that, Joe. But
go ahead, Duke.
How you doing? How you doing, young man in the corner over there? What's your name?
Hey, I go by Troy, but you know what my wife says? You can't spell destroy without TROY at the end of it. So I'll answer anything.
There, all right. Miss Joy, I got to catch you smart today, sir. The word dictate. What does that mean?
The word dictate?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't use my hands. Could you write down these words that I say?
Okay.
That's one use of it.
So I'm gonna put an OR on a dictator. Dictator. What is dictator?
Oh, like a diktat or a dictate that comes out from a dictator is like a pronouncement from a supreme authority. So we make law by just the pronouncement and the dictates of the dear leader. In the case of, say, Kim Jong-un and the North Koreans, the dear leader.
Some people want to control universities and proteins like the Washington Redskins and stuff like that. You know where I'm going with that though, a little bit.
Yeah, but they take the money. Wait, they're allowed to take the money, but no accountability. And that's the thing is often oligarchies that are unaccountable will accuse any sort of accountability as you're acting like a dictator.
Every 2 or 3 months, this cat he's picking on who that? Our university. Tell me, I'm gonna cut your money off. You don't do what I say do. Washington Redskins. If you don't change the name back to the Washington Redskins, I'm gonna cut your money off. Hell, I wish I had enough money. I paid to tell the people so that way he can go. Tell them where he can go. If I had the money, I don't have that kind of money, Joey, like you do.
You got enough money for the Cleveland Indians? We could do the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah.
They're a little cheaper. They're probably a lot cheaper. They're a cheaper franchise than
especially since they named themselves the Guardians.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of Hey, have you ever been to Cleveland?
Doing the money. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, you just tell them, say, they always want to hold on somebody's head, So that's the reason I'm calling it a dictator, kind of personality going on here.
No, I think maybe Trump wishes he could be a dictator, but he ain't.
He'd be a benevolent
He's trying
dictator.
to play the role, though. Huh? He's trying to play the role for some reason. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but
I think there have been American presidents a lot stronger with more iron fisted than him.
For sure.
But all of a sudden, when the Epstein thing was getting kind of hot there,
yeah,
he wanted to find the scapegoat from blame the black guy. All of a sudden. Old black and both be rock. Y'all need to check that old black ball over there.
I thought there's black fatigue. I thought there was black fatigue, man. Hey, what about this black fatigue? Come on. There's fatigue out there for that.
Hey, ain't nothing on this side. Still, we need to go there with a black guy. The black always and stuff.
No, and he could pull like Trump could pull like he did with Kamala. You know, and for the longest time, I thought he was white, and then he's got a white mom, and then all of a sudden he runs for office and he's black. I don't know. Which is he? Good God.
Now, for months and months and months, they would tell us the goods coming down the road.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they got rid of that, and all of a sudden, old Blackett did something 2 or 3 years ago. Need to pull that up. Get my attention away from this right there. We need to stop talking about it, and some of y'all are stupid for talking about it continuously. Joey?
Well, I'm still going to talk about it, and I'm going to talk about how Obama did some dirty stuff.
These are y'all stupid for talking about it continuously.
Yeah, all right. No, I am stupid.
No, I wouldn't call you stupid at all. Ignorant is when you don't know something, and maybe we just don't know something.
Yeah,
maybe Duke's onto something. Maybe Duke's onto something.
Yeah.
I bet you won't call Trump and tell him that.
I don't have his number.
You have access to it. Katie could get it for you.
I doubt that.
Maybe Greg Boudell's got it. We ask him.
I can hear your name on the TV. So you're a total loser, Joey.
No, but like also, it seems like, especially behind the scenes, Trump doesn't mind people who push back and disagree with him.
Well,
by any means.
What's this taco phenomenon?
Right.
You know, the taco concept, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So then think of the amount of people he's dog cussed and called names, and now he's like, and now we're good friends. I called Ted Cruz's wife a big, ugly dog face, and now Ted's my closest friend, and I love Heidi too.
Don't Ted do anything for Trump too. I seen him on TV a while back. He just at some little meeting he just took over the conversation. Trump was struggling that day to say what he wanted to say. Marco took over. Boy.
I like Marco.
So you're not buying the whole he's going to arrest Obama thing?
He's gonna do whatever to stay off of this. As long as y'all don't, if y'all stop talking about Epstein, he'll leave it alone. But y'all keep talking about that, he's gonna do something to make y'all happy. Not y'all, but to make the cult members happy. Let me get it right. Yeah, let me get it right. Yeah, as long as he throw them a little something there once in a while to keep them happy, they all right. And who's a better person than old Black in them? You
can't keep referring to him that way.
That's what's been going on. Everything go wrong with the brown or the black in them.
Does he identify? Does he identify as black?
The black and brown and did all the killing. They got about to pick the fruit now. Everybody's killing one another.
I don't know if he identifies as being black. To be honest with you, I think he's
black and brown. I'm just saying the color of that.
Okay, I got you. Not the content. All right,
fair enough.
You may be right, Duke. We'll see.
Well, I appreciate the call.
Hey, maybe we got a wife for 2 or 3 months. Just see how it feels.
Oh, did you see them do that podcast where Obama, like Michelle and Barack, got together and hugged each other just to prove we're not on the outs?
Everybody trying to get them divorced some kind of way. Everybody trying to.
He gave her a little fist bump too when she sat down. I was like, "Yeah, they're back together."
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Oh, Duke, you should stop being a stranger. You haven't called in a while since I've been here, at least when I come in on Mondays.
Yeah, man.
What about the eggs? How you feeling about the eggs?
I've been listening to the guys talking.
Hey, what about the eggs? How are we looking on the eggs, man?
On the eggs?
Yeah.
Well, let me see.
Price of eggs. How are we looking on that? Wasn't that one of your?
I actually had my mind.
You forgot about it.
I actually had my mind on some duck eggs.
Okay.
I can't find them anymore, Duke. I think I ate them all.
Everything else went up. The eggs, people stopped eating the eggs for a little while. So they used to come back around next year. They've been setting the eggs right now. Yeah. But during the time when we needed eggs, we couldn't get them. Okay.
Well.
So.
We made it just fine. We're okay without the eggs for a little while.
Well, I appreciate the call, man.
Bye, Duke.
Right, good,
bye, Duke.
Love that guy.
He can stir it up quickly.
He can be obnoxious sometimes.
I love him.
The video Trump released is over the top and ridiculous.
Have you shown it?
No, I don't think I've.
Do you think there's do you think it's in bad taste or?
No, it's long and it's more visual.
Okay.
And
I saw the excerpt of him. Hey, did you see they did a meme off of it too? And it's got him looking at Obama, and Obama's head in the back. He goes, "So let me get this right. You want yourself facing Mecca, right?"
Wow. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this? Hello.
Hello?
Hey, you're on there. Who's this?
Yes, I'm calling just to ask this question. I wanted to ask the question when Mr. Bill was on the line. What do you think about this conspiracy that Trump is now releasing his medical records and diagnoses when he would not ever have thought about doing that during his first term, so that further down the line he can give up his presidency or step down from his presidency and give it to Vance, so that he and his family can be pardoned by Vance before he leaves office?
I think it's a little premature. Are you talking about like the swelling legs disclosure?
Yes.
I think that's quite a leap from the guy's old and has swelling legs.
No, I'm not saying whether or not it's true or if it.
Well,
it
fair
did or
fair
did
enough.
not
My impression of it's kind of like
putting something out there about his medical health at all, when he never did that before, ever.
Well, you remember his cognition test came back that he was pretty much the smartest person that they ever found.
I aced it, Walter Reed. I aced it.
Right. But no, it's possible. I mean, everything's possible in the realm.
Well, and I think picking Vance as VP was just a smart decision
Sure,
all around. So
excellent.
whatever comes up, medical, legal, whatever.
And
he's gotta
that's
get
based on the presumption that Vance wouldn't get elected as president and could still pardon him. But possible. It's possible.
Who knows? All right, guys. Thank you. I love.
Thank you for calling us.
Appreciate it. Yeah, no, the swelling legs.
Yeah, I know.
It's benign though.
Yeah, it's what they say. I mean, when you get that age, I mean, you're going to have issues.
Stuff just stops working.
Well, what's great is, I should have, when she called in, she could have said, before he didn't want to release anything because maybe he thought, well, I'm not that good. Then he looks at Biden and goes, holy cow, I look like I'm the bionic man. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Have you seen any excerpts of this Hunter Biden interview?
Oh boy.
Dropping the F-bomb over and over again.
Yeah. Was he doing the Charlie Sheen? Was he Charlie Sheen style?
And one point, the interviewer gets him talking about cooking crack. Oh, man. And he's like, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to relive a euphoric experience.
And I don't want to have to do it again.
And it's really not that bad for you. And like, it actually burns away all the impurities when you.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my. Yeah, that's what I was
She
thinking.
won't take crypto.
Oh, my God. Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
Charles first.
Hey, Charles, I was thinking about you. I was just thinking about you the other day. I was talking to you about my wife. I said, I ain't talked to you in a while.
Well, yes, sir, and it's always good to hear from you because you remind me of my father. I think I might have told you.
You did, and I've shared that story. I shared it with my wife, and she was touched by the loss of your father and how important he was. So yeah, God bless him.
Well, and one thing that I didn't tell you, he was at Fort Bragg. He was the one that taught the POWs. I may have told you that.
I think you did, but I forgot. Yeah, you know what we call Fort Bragg. Your dad would have called it too, Vietnam.
Vietnam. So we were there, and I can tell you exactly when we were there. It was the premiere week of Jaws.
Oh man!
It was 50 years ago.
Jeez Louise!
And I had to stay at the heart of Fayetteville Motel in a motel room for 6 weeks while he taught.
Yeah.
As he's an E4 sergeant, E4 warrant officer. Those classes.
That would be an 04. That would be an 04. He was an 04. Yeah, an 04.
I just can't keep all those.
I know you did good though. It's Chief Warrant Officer 4, which is that's the creme de la creme of our operators. So yeah.
Well, that makes me feel good. He was here. You remember Powers, the helicopter pilot who crashed in Russia?
I do. You mean Gary Powers was a U2 pilot?
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying he crashed like my father did in a helicopter that he was piloting.
Oh, I didn't know that.
For a news station.
I did not know.
He crashed. But they have something else in common.
What?
My dad was the best Morse code receiver sender, and he was in Germany, and he received the code of that crash.
Wow,
both men died in a helicopter.
That's something
else. He got me.
That's great.
The one that received and the one that got, And what else? What I was going to call about, y'all, is a deep, touchy subject, but it's the Epstein thing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, here we go. I think there needs to be a self-reflection, introspective thing going on here, and you're going to get what I mean in a second. Okay? If, let's hypothetically say that in even 3 libraries in the state there was actually child sexual abuse taking place. If going on the 4th one, we'd be doing something about it. Have you got me? Do you disagree with me in any way with that?
No.
Okay. Now, there are more victims from churches in massive amounts. Protestant churches. Nothing was done about the Protestant churches when you went after the Catholic churches. There are over 100 cases, guys. Some of them 25 children at a time in the Florence Muscle Shoals area that you can look up. And some of these people, like the one in Prattville, where the library is, he did this and only got a slap on the wrist. And there were about 7 children involved, and they took away him getting a SORNA violation. Now, if this were anything else except a church, we would be saying, stop this. This must stop. I even would say that if a whole bunch of children were harmed in a church, there's a chance that some of those parishioners might know about it, not say anything.
Yeah.
I think that you should put like a little grave up that says this many children were harmed at this church. If they think that's going to go up in front of their church, they won't let that happen anymore. They won't try to hide it because they're going to that church. They won't try to cover for anybody that's doing it. Are y'all following me?
Of course.
You feel my heartfelt need that this needs to have something happen, just like happened with the Catholic Church. Because what happens in one thing, just like if there's Pizza Huts everywhere, you get the same amount of people if you put it in the same city. Then if you look, the Southern Baptists kind of held back, didn't say a lot, didn't get in on the conversation, and there's still abuse, and there's just hundreds of cases in the state of Alabama, probably close to thousands every year that we see every week. Just in March, there was the ones that were supposed to be caretaking the little kids at a Baptist church that you can go look up, that all got arrested, and have you got me?
Yeah, no, we do. And you know what? Hey, Charles, listen, you know what? I think a lot of it stems from the fact that churches can individually settle cases, and it never goes to any. It's sad. It's quite sad. And it's not just, people want to blame the Catholic Church. I got news for you. They've already started dealing with their demons, but some of these churches have not. So,
Well, absolutely. And that's what I wanted to say.
Cool.
And I hope I made myself clear.
You did.
I wouldn't feel right if I didn't say what needed to be said there.
Well said. I appreciate it, Charles.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, y'all.
Good talking to you, buddy.
Good talking to you, Troy.
Yeah, bye, buddy.
Well, and I think folks, number one, are like, don't even want to think about that going on. Number one. Number two, even if you like to accuse somebody of that is a heck of an accusation.
And it never goes away either.
Right. But then when it is in fact true, I think the normal person out there, like, you want to put them under the jail. You would think. But then it goes to a different level with the Epstein stuff. Is like, how many innocent kids were essentially used, or certain people just looked the other way, but use their abuse as a tool beyond the abuse itself. And that's the sort of thing. Well, for instance, I'd watch, it's very good. They don't go into whole speculation land. They don't say Epstein's working for Israel or whatever.
Right.
It was Tucker Carlson and Daryl Cooper.
Yeah. That's all
and at one point, Daryl Cooper talks about why he got out of the Department of Defense, where he's over there, I guess, in Afghanistan.
And they're little boys serving. Listen, I've been there. And let me tell you something. It's the most gruesome part of outside the time and in the greater Baghdad area in Talafar, where they were taking orphans, females, little girls that were mentally challenged, and they would put suicide bombs under their burqas and detonate them in markets and give them money to go in to get candy and then blow them up. And I saw that. It really, what kind of animal, I thought to myself, would do that? And the animals wouldn't do that to their offspring. Right. But then the little boys that they dress up as girls in the tea houses there, I have to meet with my sources. I just felt so wanted to put a bullet in somebody's head.
Yeah, like at every checkpoint, we've got 20 in the back for the main guys. And it's just
so jacked up.
Yeah, and it's stuff like that where you go, oh, because of we want to accomplish this larger goal as an institution, we're going to look the other way on this stuff.
How do you talk principle
right.
and governance and what we're bringing them. If we would turn our eye to that, our head to that,
right.
and just say,
Well, and also, it didn't make sense strategically. You just gave a lot of ammunition to the Taliban in terms of propaganda.
You sure did. They turned it on you too.
Yeah, and look where we are in that part of the world.
Sure did.
Yeah, Fox News now covering this ridiculous Hunter Biden interview. I can't really play it because he's dropping F-bombs every other word. But I might be able to pull up the video where he's talking about cooking crack.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I don't think there's any cursing in that. But anyway,
I think that'd be worth looking at.
This part of the program brought to you by Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. And they're at Cohen's. They're ready to help you on the electronic side, of course. Like maybe you want a brand new TV. Could be you want to go really big, like home theater style, like a short throw projector. Have you seen these things?
Yes, I've seen them. I have a projector, but these things are exponentially greater.
Yeah, the fidelity of them, like
amazing.
Crystal clear.
It's amazing.
And you can put it up very close to the wall, so it's not like you get in the way of the projector or anything. But of course, they have like 98-inch TVs now.
That's crazy.
It's pretty awesome. Then, of course, you keep walking through the store and you see like the massage chairs and like you want new seating arrangements, something to sink into. You keep walking, you're going to see the grills and Napoleons,
outdoor stuff,
the Traeger grills, like essentially the equivalent of a big green egg.
Right.
And then you keep walking, you're like, oh, there's a whole other wing of the store, and it's the appliance side. So if you're looking to fill out the laundry room, you need a new washer or dryer unit, maybe one combined, or it could be you want to put some new appliances in the kitchen, or maybe you're building a kitchen up from scratch.
Yeah. That's what
Get by Cohen's. They can do it all, but it's not just the great products. In fact, I think the real difference, because the products are sold
Michael Jacks,
everywhere.
Man. Michael Jacks.
It's Michael Jacks. It's the
team,
whole team.
That team, yeah.
Michael Cohen and the team are ready to help you. The service really makes the difference, including service after the sale. You ain't going to get that at a big box.
He just made a great point. So you're a little bit older and you buy some of this new technology. It's nice to have somebody to get it set up for you and walk you through it, and that matters. I mean,
so y'all check them out today. You can always shop from home at thinkcohens.com, but you got to get by there. Walk through the store like I just described. It's 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. Be sure to find Michael, one of the great team members, to be like, hey, that Joey guy, he was talking about you on the radio. I had to come check y'all out. Again, 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon, and we have some exciting news to share with you. We've been serving the state of Alabama for many, many years, and now we are able and ready to offer the same great mortgage financing in Georgia and Florida as well.
Our company may be Alabama Home Mortgage, but now we can finance your Georgia home mortgage and your Florida home mortgage too. We couldn't be more excited to extend our customer base to our neighboring states. For years, we have had customers call us in hopes we could assist them with purchasing their vacation cabin in North Georgia or their dream home in Florida. And now we can. For those of you who have family and friends that live in Florida and Georgia, be sure to tell them the good news.
Whether you are looking to purchase or refinance a home located in Alabama, Georgia, or Florida, you owe it to yourself to give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time.
It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
They're more than pets, they're family. And while your furry friend is safe and loved at home, countless animals across the river region are still waiting for that same chance. That's why Blue Water Broadcasting and Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry are coming together for the annual Pot Forward Pet Drive to help local humane societies care for homeless animals in need. We're stuffing our Sprinter van full of supplies, and you can help. Drop off food, toys, blankets, and more at Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, 8163 Vaughan Road. They make it. They really make it. Paw it forward today.
To find out how you can help, visit newstalk931.com.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll-free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
Sell your house the easy way. Call Rapid Fire Home Buyers today.
Do you have real estate problems? Whether you're facing foreclosure, inherited a property, or have costly repairs, we understand. At Rapid Fire Home Buyers, we're here to help. Any condition, any situation, we'll give you an honest cash offer for your home so you can move forward. We've dealt with more real estate problems than anyone else in the River region. If you're dealing with foreclosure, major repairs, or having trouble selling your home, we will buy your house today. We've worked with hundreds of homeowners in the River region. It's easy to get started. Just call 334-675-1000 to claim your cash offer today. That's 334-675-1000. Because when real estate problems cause uncertainty, you deserve a solution you can trust. Any condition, any situation, we're here to help. Call 334-675-1000 to claim your cash offer for your house.
Sell your house the easy way. Call Rapid Fire Home Buyers today.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Oh, hi, everybody. The chance of an evening cooling shower is not zero, but not good. Meanwhile, that heat advisory in effect will continue tomorrow as well. Even the nights are very muggy, with the overnight low temperature tonight down to about 76. Tomorrow's high 97, but the heat index could be as high as 107 perhaps. And only isolated to widely scattered storms tomorrow. Rain chances perhaps a little better Wednesday through Friday, as we'll be watching the northern Gulf for possible tropical development. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico is still here in the studio, but joining us now, we also have Pamela Dubuque.
Yay.
She's here early before happy hour.
Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
Let me just I'm doing good.
Eddie and
Pretty
I
good
missed
for
you
a
on,
Monday.
on Friday.
I know. I'm glad I got to call. I listened for a while.
Yeah.
Sounded like y'all were having fun.
Yeah, it worked out because we were expecting Craig to be here for my normal show, and they were expecting you and maybe Jacqueline to be here.
Either.
Yeah. So it was just like me and Eddie.
On
Should have
Friday?
invited you.
On Friday?
Yeah, it was just us staring at each other for 6 hours.
When was this?
Last Friday.
Just the other day. I was driving to
I
North
would have been
Carolina.
happy to play the bullpen for you.
No, after like she had good reason not to be here, and then Craig also, I'm like, we're just gonna, us two, man. We're just
Stop
gonna power
reading,
through.
as your caller said, stop reading the news, Joey. Give us something good.
Let's go to Babs. Hey, Babs, how you doing?
Good afternoon, gentlemen and lady. I'm doing good, Joey. Hope you are.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear that Malcolm Jamar Warner drowned in Costa Rica?
I saw that. I just saw that on the news just a minute ago. Our guy from the Cosby Show, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, so what occurred? I didn't see what the cause was.
Got in a riptide.
Oh, okay. That's terrible.
I think that's what it said.
Terrible.
You know what I thought when I saw it?
No.
Did he really? Did he just drown, or did he get help? That's how my mind is going these days. It's so bad. You can't trust what anybody says anymore.
It's easy. You're overloaded with information.
Yeah. So grateful for this radio station. So
good.
But anyway, I just called to see if y'all had heard that. That's sad. He is 54 years old, and he was doing commercials and
that's unfortunate.
different kind of shows and all. Yes,
It's a
very
shame.
sad. But like I said, I'm just getting to where I question everything.
you know-
Joey, I love you. Love the show. Is Greg okay?
Is who?
Greg?
Greg.
Yeah, Greg's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I knew you did 6 hours Friday, right?
Oh yeah, he just did a little day trip, I think, over to Georgia.
Okay. Okay, just checking on y'all. You talked to Dan lately?
I have not actually, no.
Okay. I sure would like to hear a little bit or see a little bit of him, but anyway, it is what it is. Old friends just go away. All right. Y'all have a great afternoon.
Bye, Babs.
Thanks for all that you do, Joey. Love you bunches.
Love you,
Bye-bye.
Babs.
You know, Babs hits a point. My stepson is 36, and he's a very bright individual, but he and his generation, it seems like now, have become vapor locked on information. It's like too much stuff being crammed down your throat.
Yeah.
Is this real? Is this not real? What do I believe? And it's sad because what it's created is a disengaged element of our important future society.
Yeah, and maybe demoralization is
It's
kind of
very
the point.
They're jaded.
It totally is, I think.
Well, and I admit it. Consuming this all the time, the political news cycle in particular, makes me a little bit crazy.
Yeah. it
like
makes
I
me
have to.
have
You gotta have your fix.
disassociative episodes
Yeah.
because I just can't see it anymore.
Well, and it's also, I think, making us all deranged to where even serious things that we know intellectually are serious things.
Yeah.
We treat it like a movie, like the bombing of Iran. We treat it not as like a very serious thing. You treat it
You're right.
kind of like a movie.
You're right.
And so many of these other things, like the way the Jeffrey Epstein thing is talked about,
it's surreal.
It's not just a serious issue of massive child abuse and a whole program potentially tied to intelligence agencies. It's become a punchline in many ways.
Does life imitate art, or does art imitate life?
Right,
And that's
and-
kind of where we're at right now. What's reality? AI only exacerbates it.
And I thought about it because I think this week is like the 2-year anniversary of the Montgomery Riverfront Brawl.
Oh,
and,
yeah, that was
when I saw
Oh
my
my
stupid
gosh,
hungover fat face on Fox News that afternoon.
You were on it?
Yeah, because it was we just started streaming, and I had two reactions. Number one, I am like on camera, and you can hear the Captain Jim, telling what happened.
Yeah.
And I'm yelling at the TV, "Say my name, Brett Baer. You say my name," but they just credit the station. I'm like, that's fine. It's just from News Talk. And then also, I remember when we first started streaming, it's like the damn hum. The hum is still there. The ground loop hum.
That's not good.
But then I thought about it even more. And a line from a song came to me: when life's a stage in a brand new age, how do we engage? And it's like even all your personal stuff and all the family moments and everything is curated for everybody else to watch, like a movie. And it's some level that takes away, like when you see a rock concert these days, if they still exist. Apparently, the average age of people going to concerts like in the 40s now. Like
I
it's
go
not
to
young
more
people,
concerts now than I ever have in my life.
right?
Yeah.
I think you could appreciate it.
But you see like an old school rock concert like Skinner out in California or Kiss. Oh, Kiss Live is fantastic.
Detroit Rock City tour. It's my first concert. I was 7 years old. I smelled marijuana at Dayton Hare Arena with my hippie uncle. And listen, I was scared to death when he started spitting up the blood. And I had become a member of the Kiss Army. I was a sergeant in the Kiss Army for $5. And I had this poster. And every night, Joey, I would shut my closet because I thought Gene Simmons lived in there. I was freaking out after I saw that. It traumatized me.
And so you see all these old concerts and it's like people living in the moment. And now it's like how many people are looking at what's right in front of their face through their phone screen?
I can't stand that.
And I'm like, what's happening?
I mean, and it's a really serious event that you need to render some assistance to somebody. And
all that too. Yeah, everything is just fodder. It's all good content.
You need to be kicking ass, not video.
Yeah, and it's everything becomes a performance instead of you just being you.
Yeah.
And it's a shame.
We've lost it.
Let's go to James. Didn't mean to rhyme, but what's up, James?
Hey, Joey. You've whetted my interest about the Grok machine, and so I have the Hey Google, and also have the Alexa, or the little boxes, and I'm really interested in the other one if it can produce. For a person that can't see, does it give you information verbally, or is it just all written on the screen or transmitted to you on answer paper, or how does it work?
Well, here, I can show you. I mean, you're going to have to be able to open up the app. I don't know how you automatically bring it up. Maybe your phone has the ability to bring it up like apps just on voice command. But like I can show you right here. How about this? Let's use
Don't use an unhinged guy.
No, I'm not going to use the unhinged guy. But hey, for somebody who's legally blind, can't see, could you give information and stuff like that, Grok?
Oh, absolutely, I can help with that. For someone who's legally blind, I can provide clear, detailed verbal descriptions of information, instructions, or anything you need. Just let me know what you're after. Maybe directions, a description of something, or help with a task. What's on your mind?
Well, I'm actually hosting a radio show, and a fella named James in that situation just called in, so we're just testing you a little bit.
Fair enough. I'm here for it. If James called in, I can tailor info to be super clear and descriptive for him. Perfect for radio vibes.
So there you go, James. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds very, very, very good. Does it work off of any type of machine like that you have to buy, or?
No, right now it's just an app on the phone.
Oh, yes. Oh, I've got you. Great. And then I'll get a visual person that can see to try to set it up. You said it's about $30 a month or so.
I think it's something like that for just Grok. Yeah,
it's like $29.99. I think I paid.
Okay.
And you can pick. I just prefer the soothing British female voice, but you can do. There's a few different dudes, few different females.
Storyteller, funny guy, But yeah, do you have someone that can help you with that?
Yeah, I can.
Good.
I have someone that comes twice a week, and I can get her to help set it up. I sure appreciate that information. That's going to really help, because I'm so interested in finding out things. For instance, what nuclear companies are participating in the data centers that are coming up, and so many questions I want to ask. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Appreciate it, James. Yeah, and it's the new Grok 4 is incredibly powerful.
Listen, you got me started on it, and now My wife's like, stop talking to Grok. You know, I said, but Grok knows. And she's like, turn that unhinged guy off. He's starting to get on my nerves.
Yeah, the
What
unhinged
does
is
unhinged
crazy.
guy sound like?
Well,
I can
after
show you
the
off
break,
air.
We'll show you
Okay, show me.
afterwards. It
Because
usually involves a
I don't
bull.
use
I-
anything like that.
Before I went into it, I turned off not safe for work,
Right,
just in case.
Oh,
Because the normal voice usually doesn't go in that territory unless you push it. But yeah, there's an unhinged mode. There is also Rudy.
Yep.
Who bad Rudy? There's good Rudy that's meant for kids, and then bad
There's
Rudy
argumentative.
is
There's
the most
just-
foul mouth.
Yeah, he's
Well,
foul.
have you seen the companions?
You talking about
Oh,
sexy girlfriend
gosh.
and that? Yeah.
No,
I haven't seen that one yet.
I'm-
I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay, well, how
Is
about
this the one that you showed me the other day? It is so.
Well, listen, it's so cliche. Unhinged guy goes to usually bowling alleys and orifices of your body and that kind of stuff.
Oh,
And it's
now
like,
you have some visuals. Keep it clean here, though. We need to keep this clean.
what do we got here?
I can't see you. What the world? It's not working. Oh no!
It is creepy.
But it has that music playing when.
It's like a little bit like.
Oh, there it is.
Who is it?
Is she
Say hello to my
dancing?
friend Troy.
Oh, it's Japanese animation.
Yeah.
Sailor Moon.
Wait, let me see that one.
Life the way you pictured?
I did see
Or you
that.
got
I,
something?
I like her outfit.
I did too. I watch. Listen. My friend Shane's got me. He's called in here. He's got me on all this Japanese animation, Jujutsu Kaisen.
I am
so
not
good.
into
It's
that.
Jujutsu
so
Kaisen's
good.
awesome.
Oh my
It's so
God.
good.
Yeah,
Isn't
the
it, Joe?
action's fantastic.
Gojo, man. I mean, just like I'm into that crap. And
Yeah,
I watch Attack on
domain
Titan.
expansion.
Domain expansion.
Yeah, and he just traps you in
Ten
an infinite
Shadows.
void. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
No.
Attack on Titan too.
Oh, great. Hardcore. Like, that's one of the most
So good.
incredible stories I've heard told about, like, just war. Like, all the
It
psychological
really is.
trauma and
listen,
the back and
it's
forth.
it's a mind trip because you get out there and you realize there's advanced civilizations
Yeah.
beyond them.
Yeah, it's
I
you
know,
know, they're
it's-
great shows.
yeah.
Yeah, Pamela's so disappointed.
I'm
So I
like,
started
you guys.
Chainsaw Guy. Or
I haven't
Chainsaw
watched
Man.
that one.
It's pretty good.
Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by. We can go off on
Brought
this.
to you
or-
by Nerding
See, I
Out.
knew you and I are brothers from another mother, but the same father.
Brought to you by Pest Pro Services and their Pest Pro Ashley and that great team. Ready to help you with any and all of your pest control needs. It all starts with that basic pest control protection. What they do is a monthly subscription model now. That way you can really budget those pest control costs, control those costs. And it starts with basic pest control protection. And you can add to that termite yearly inspection, year-round protection against termites. Maybe you're looking to get rid of the fleas and ticks.
Oh, yeah.
Got pets, things you don't want being trekked in. Treat the yard for fire ants or mosquito treatments. If you
Fire
actually
ants,
want to enjoy the backyard
Mm-hmm.
or enjoy the front porch, enjoy your property. So y'all check out Pest Pro Services today. Not only are they really good at what they do, truly skilled pros, they're also just great local folks. So
They got that maintenance plan now, don't they? They
Yeah.
just you just get on it.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what I need to look at.
yeah, it's like I'll say the full package is something like a water bill.
It's really great.
It's pretty
It's
awesome.
incredible.
Pretty awesome service they provide. And you know that money you spend stays here in the community. They're great local folks. So check them out today. You can always call them at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
At Epicure and Jack's Tavern, every dish and sauce is freshly made in their kitchen daily. No cans, no shortcuts, just pure, delicious food prepared with love. Experience the difference fresh ingredients make. Join them for a meal that tastes like home.
In your meal on a sweet note with their executive chef, Glenn Tarantino's homemade desserts at Epicure and Jack's Tavern. Indulge in unique creations that change daily because every meal deserves a happy ending. Sweet, savory, and everything in between. Experience the dessert delights at Epicure and Jack's Tavern.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
This is Matt Woodham with Woodham Southside Firestone. As a businessman, you need to watch your advertising dollar. We've been using Blue Water Broadcasting for many years. Blue Water Broadcasting is the biggest bang for your buck. Blue Water Broadcasting and Woodham Southside Firestone, great combination.
Radio reaches over 90% of everyone in the river region. Shouldn't your ads be out there where your customers are?
Call us to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back, folks. Sorry, we got a little distracted playing with the Grok features. The not safe for work.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, they're over the top, and it's a great tool. It's also great entertainment at times.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if this is. You're on there. Is this Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet?
It is. Sorry about that.
How you doing?
Oh, good. I was on the phone with the customer. I couldn't get off picking up.
Well, we're on there now. How was the weekend and what's going on today?
Oh. You usually give me a second to get my head wrapped around what we're going to talk about. It was hot. I actually had to unload an attic, and I think I lost 15 pounds. That was miserable. But I'm like, this is worse than being in a sauna. I'm not one who likes to work out anyway because I don't like picking up heavy things. But when you got to pull them out of the attic and send them down the ladder, no, it's not fun. So, yeah, no, my weekend was not that fun. I was glad to be back at work today. What about your weekend?
Pretty relaxing. Got some writing done. Ate too much. And, yeah, life's good. Watched a few movies.
Good.
My grandfather had never seen Happy Gilmore.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, so good.
And with the new one coming out, oh, man.
We got into watching these old movies from like the 1990s and early 2000s. Yeah. We watched The Bone Collector last
night.
movies.
The Bone Collector.
Yeah,
that's a good movie.
Yeah. To me, it's not an old movie, but The Sailor, it's like, why is it so grainy?
Oh, yeah. One time my son said, "You were born in the 1900s." I was like, okay. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, what's fun is ask your son when you get home, how do you answer a telephone? You know how we put our hands like and
oh yeah,
do like the little sign?
Hello?
The kids today will put a flat hand to their face.
Oh wow. I didn't think of that.
Like this?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's like wild.
Look at the phone. It's flat.
Or they hold it like this. Hello?
Yeah. Ask him when you get home, see what he does.
Could they dial? You think they could dial a ring? You know, the old ring kind? No. What would they do? What would they do?
People have done videos of asking their kids to do that online, and they're like, I have no idea how this works.
What does it do?
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be well worth to get a landline and have one of those in the house just to watch the kids say.
To shame them, Ray. To shame them. You know nothing.
Absolutely. I think it's hilarious when I tell them that I can remember we had our first dishwasher.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
In the house.
I didn't have a dishwasher until I moved to my first apartment.
Neither.
My parents never had one.
I was a remote control.
Until later.
Yeah, no, but at any rate, I think we're supposed to talk about floors. So if you need a floor, call it 285-8117.
Again, that number is 285-8117. Let them come out for that free in-home measurement. Pick your product out, and they'll put it down. Just that simple. And hey, when you call them up at 285-8117, be sure to tell them, hey, I heard Ray Bowles on the radio with that Joey fellow.
Guys, y'all have a great afternoon.
You too,
Ray. I wonder who this is on line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hi, this is Connie.
Hey, Connie.
I know you only got a few seconds, so I'm going to make it fast. But for the gentleman who called about being blind, I went blind in March, and Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind has an office in Montgomery, and they are awesome. And you can get training on your iPad or your iPhone, and they help you set things up. And he probably already knows about AIDD, but just in case, and if there's anybody else listening that's blind, they are wonderful people. They will even come to your house to train you if you don't have a way to get there.
Outstanding
Well,
advice.
thank you for telling folks that, Connie. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
And then somebody just pointed out in text, hey, is it all black dress at 93.1?
Oh, yeah. Look at us.
Oh, matching uniform.
I didn't even notice.
Yep.
I always wear the
great
same
minds,
thing.
Great minds think alike.
I like black.
I wear black on the outside because black is how I feel on the inside. Dorsey and the Smiths. You like the Smiths, yeah. I wear black on the outside because black is how I feel on the inside. I'm in love with my sadness.
I am in love with my sadness. It's incurable. It's an incurable illness.
And on that note, heaven knows I'm miserable now.
That's right.
Happy hours next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.